All right, gentlemen, we are live. How are you guys doing
Perfect.
today?
What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm doing all right. No, I'm not. I'm not doing all right. I'm lying. I'm mad.
Well, like the title said, we're gonna do the good, the bad, and the ugly
Okay. I was just trying to figure out the whole time, like which one of us is the good, which one's the bad, and which one's the ugly. Like,
in the order that we're at. I'm the good,
Good.
oh,
Bad.
I
you the
see.
ugly. You just figured
Very
that out.
convenient. Very convenient. Very convenient.
Oh man, that's
Okay.
messed up. That's messed up. That's
Eh,
foul. That's
Hey,
super foul.
as long as Jorge's the no, Jorge could be the bad. I'll let Funk be the good, just to just for revenge.
Nobody's ever accused me of being good.
Yeah, that is a tough sell. As soon as I said it, I'm like, yeah, Jorge probably is the good.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever
Well,
accused me of that.
today
Wait, why are you
today is not
mad, Funk?
necessarily end of the year stream, but it is a wrapping up 2025, and I don't know. I don't think you got privy to what we wanted to talk about, but and I'm talking to Nick, but I know there's definitely some interesting topics. It's gonna be this might be a
I'm
long
ready.
one actually.
Oh
Um,
Well,
man, I
but
can only do like 1 hour stream. Come on.
yeah, whatever.
1 hour and two. You know what? You know what? We could actually start this stream out talking about 2025, talking about our individual channels. Because I'd like to talk
Yeah,
about Nick's channel.
Is this why you're
No,
mad?
no,
Because you said you were
no,
mad. So did that
no, no,
no,
no.
video
I'm
finally
mad because
did it
I'm waiting
leak?
on I'm waiting on the realty company, and they're not gonna call. They're not gonna do anything in the middle of the night. They're gonna make us wait until the morning, and I that pisses me
Oh,
off
oh
because
yeah.
let me be late on the rent payment. They're calling right away. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Of
They're
course.
Hey,
Johnny on the spot. But when
I
I
guess
need them,
yeah, I guess flower with horns must be watching a different stream because he said it's the three wise men, the
three
more like
why?
the wise guys, but I don't know about wise men.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
Nick's had a big 2000. Nick's did 2025 YouTube. Nick's been dude 4, 5, 18 hour live streams.
yep.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
I mean,
streaming.
I crack jokes on him all the time. Be like, bro, you need to get a life, man. But I mean, he's out there all the damn time. He's up there like it's been a big
Bro,
this
I
year.
decided I wanted to say hardest working fish stream, and they've been making like if I don't stream for like a certain period of time, like I get tons of DMs, so like I don't get to slack off because like they're the audience. The people hang out in the chat, they feel ownership. Like, yo, we're trying to be the hardest working fish stream. Like, we can't be if you don't stream every.
All
Have
right.
you felt? I mean, not to be funny, but have you felt that from the chat where you feel like, yo, they kind of forcing me to be a certain type of way? Because I mean, I joke about it. No, I don't joke about it. I'm damn serious. These motherfuckers, these damn people be making me do stuff I don't want to do. I don't want to be silly all the damn time.
They don't
I know
force me
what
to
this
be
is gonna
away.
be like.
They force me to show up though. They force me to show up, but
Yeah,
I might show up and say, "Well, guess what? I'm talking about abuse philandro for the next 3 hours. You know,
yeah.
take it or leave
But
it."
like if you say, hey, this is gonna be a short one, I'm ready to go, and they're like, no, no. You're like, man, I guess I got to do it. It's like if I don't want to be, if I want to talk about fish, they're like, no, waffles or something like that. And I'm like, damn it.
No, no, they gotta
You don't
accept the
feel that
topic.
pressure?
That no, that's I'm gonna talk about whatever I want. But if someone messages, if enough people message me and are like, "Bro, it's been like 2 days since you streamed," then I might be like, "All right, let me get on and say some BS, man. Come on, let's
Let me
go."
pick
Oh,
a
so
channel to
you do
tear
feel a type
apart.
of pressure. I know Mexicali, he may not admit it, but I know he feels like crap when he doesn't do a plug. I can tell. I can tell.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I you know what? Actually, it's um the reason I haven't done it is because I need to go back. A lot of those channels that I found like right at the beginning, I don't even know if they're still active. That's the thing. So I need to go verify to make sure that because I know there was one plug that I did that you called me back and goes, dude, these are dead channels. They're
Yeah.
no longer active.
That's why I'm, dude. You know me. I'm real
Yeah.
funny about promoting people because I'm like, I don't want to promote somebody and then they just disappear, and I'm like, man, I look like an idiot. I done told all these people to go check this guy out, and they just stop. You know, I'm like, so I don't. I'm real funny. I'll be watching people for a long time before I'll be like, hey, go check him out. What I'll do is I'll watch somebody. I'll be like, that seems like a cool channel. It makes a Cali. You plug them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That happens on a regular basis.
That's hilarious.
I know. What is it? Jason Nix or Jason? That was the one, Nixon or something like that. The guy with the hybrid cichlids, the young kid.
He still does it occasionally.
Something Bins. Yeah. It's Jax Bins or something like that. Jackson Bins.
I talked about him yesterday. He still will pop up with a video here and there.
Yeah, he's kind of like Nick, but with cichlids.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually it's interesting, but I talked about him yesterday a little bit. But at the end of the day, I was like, like hybrid cichlids are such a new phenomenon to be, because he kind of does this authority type deal. I was like, it's hard to say 100% this, that, or the other on hybrid cichlids when there's such a new phenomenon, and when you mess around with genetics, you never know what's going to happen. So to say this is what happens guaranteed, I'm like, eh. But it's interesting. It's interesting to watch to me.
All right, let me do something before we really get going, because I know once we get into this, I'm not going to have an opportunity. But I want to acknowledge some of the people. Yeah, exactly. Some of the people that have joined us. KJ, she was the very first one in here. Steve, Flower with Horns, thanks for joining us all the way from Hawaii. Jimmy Horacio, thank you for being here. Overly Stocked Oscars, June, thank you so much for being here. C Marshall, 2007, thank you for joining us tonight. Who else do we have in here? And JP Jeffries, thanks for being here. Let's see, we've got, I thought I saw Sam. Oh, yeah, we got the Koi Pit Ty. Thanks for dropping in. Beto. Beto's here. Zebra Aquatics. Let's see, who else? Asia. Flatbed Aquatics, Mike. Thanks for being here. Fathom Aquatics, the Three Stooges. Yeah, he finally got it right. He's the only one that's got the correct lineup.
Let's go.
What's up, Alex? Renee, thanks for being in here. Into the Future, thank you so much for coming in. Happy New Year's all. Cracking a beer open for this celebration. All right. I got my celebratory cigar, and tonight I'm going to do coffee, I think, because I don't know. Or, I'll start off with coffee. I don't know what I'll end up with, but I'll probably go with something a little bit harder. Auntie K, thanks for coming in. Cheryl, CRP Fish. Just One More Fish, Jesse, thank you for joining us tonight. Moneyless Maven. Cheryl, thank you for being in here. All Things Fish, Mike, thanks for being here. Let's see, who else? Who there? We got this weird In My Tanks guy. I don't know who let him up, but make sure you guys, time him out. Little smart ass mouth. And Lake Missoula, Ben, thank you for coming in. I think I'm all caught up. All right. So
Cam, thank you, ma'am. Renee.
Yeah, that's KJ.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's KJ?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
KJ.
Anyway.
All
right.
So 2025 coming to an end. I guess we want to go look back a little bit of, I guess, as you were saying, individually, our channels, if we can kind of, what was our take? I guess we'll start off with the good stuff. I guess we can start off with you, Funk. What was good about this year for you as Aquafunk?
Oh man, it started out strong. It kind of fizzled out there to the end, but with this second job, no, it started out strong. I started, selling the fish food. That was all great. My videos doing fine. Y'all, for real, I am going to let the gate open. I swear to God, the gate's going to be open. Y'all just going to roam. I'm going to let anybody want dogs. If you're in the chat, you want 2 dogs, a BOGO sale.
Giveaway.
Yeah.
Give away dogs.
I thought he was
Anyway.
giving me and Jorge away for a second. I was like, yo,
So
$2.
no, it was. I have no complaints. This little part-time job, this little favor that I did, turned into a beast. So, but I see it, turning back around, towards that, the beginning of 2026. But no, I have no real complaints. I really don't.
It seems to me like you're
no, I do,
downplaying it
I
a little
do.
bit, but I think it's a big deal that you were able to start up your website.
Yeah.
You started up, the sales,
Well,
being able to do that.
yeah, but I've always never. I know you say I downplay it, but I've never been the one to like I've never done. Hey, I've hit 7,000 subscribers. Woo! I've always been like, oh, I'm a strive for 7,000, and once I hit like 6,500, I go, oh snap, I'm almost close to 7. Let me strive for 8. You know what I mean? I never want to be satisfied. So
Yeah.
I never pat myself on the back because I don't want to feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
I think it's nice to recognize milestones. It doesn't mean that you're.
I know.
'cause
It's
you
just
reach a milestone.
it's a me thing. It's a me thing. I appreciate it. I recognize it. It's just I don't want to sit in it. I don't want to sit there and just be like, I did it. No, I want to keep going. So I don't ever want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's individually. I mean, some people
Yeah.
might sit on it, but others won't.
Yeah.
They'll just keep plugging away. And I don't think you've ever kind of leaned back and said, "Oh, I'm done." This is I've kind
I
of.
know. It's just a personal thing with me. I never want to be satisfied, so I never want to do too much self-congratulations. You know what I mean? So that whole, I'm underplaying it. It's just because I want more. So I want to keep myself frosty.
I like it.
That's all. It's not that I don't appreciate. I do. It's
Now
just
that being said, was there something that you had in mind at the beginning of the year that you wanted to accomplish and you didn't get to?
yeah. I did. I did want before the year was over to start selling fish, but things kept getting in the way, and I wasn't confident that it was gonna happen the way I wanted to and be stable. I did not want to be like, oh, I'm selling fish, and then this happened, and then I gotta take a break, and then this, So I'm not gonna do it until I'm positive that it's gonna be stable. And things keep getting in my way. So I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying I'm not gonna half it. I'm not gonna half-ass it. So that's one thing I wanted to do. Y'all saw I got a buttload of betas here, and I'm putting them on the thing. But I wanted to sell more fish. My Jack Dempsey's was a happy surprise. It was a happy failure. My Jack Dempsey's a happy failure. That's a failure that I'm very excited about. The Electric Blue Jacks, I had high hopes for that, and that went left. And it's really exciting to me that it went left. But yeah, I think the Jack Dempsey's was a big deal. The Electric Blue Jacks, for real. The epic fail
Now,
that I'm turning into a win.
Well, but it's the good thing about it is that there was always that belief that there was something wrong with that breed, and there was always that you would watch these videos where it's like after 3 months, they would lose them for whatever reason. And they couldn't explain it. It'd be like, oh, it was perfectly healthy, it was doing all this and this and that, and next day it's gone. And I guess you're finding out that it's probably something genetically with those fish that is causing them to have issues.
Well, and that's the thing. We all knew it was genetics. It's just we always said it was always like one person had one Electric Blue Jack Dempsey and they made that assumption. Another person had one Electric Blue Jack Dempsey and made that a whole bunch of people had one Electric Blue Jack Dempsey, and they all consensually, made the same. Well, I bought 45. You know what I'm saying? I bought 45 of them, and I'm seeing this in mass, a mass die off at a specific time in a specific scenarios. And I'm actually gonna buy more to see if I could raise them in a different scenario and get a different whatchamacallit. And like I've always said, this is the stuff that I like about fish keeping. The behavior and the cause and effect. I'm not so much emotionally invested in fish. I don't cry. Well, my puffer died. That kind of sucked, but that's kind of a first for me. But yeah.
Heartless, huh? Finally, he admits it.
And
Heartless.
this is something that you and I have talked about. This also is. I wonder what happened, because it seems to me like the ones that seem to pass that threshold, they inadvertently at the end of the day they end up having like physical deformities. And
So I
it's
don't
weird.
mind so
I
far
I have
on
never
having.
seen a Electric Blue Jack Dempsey that is past that threshold, that's been around for a few years, that looks like a normal fish. It always seems like
Yeah.
they have some sort of malformation, which I don't know. It's kind of interesting that's kind of the case.
Yo,
Well-
Fathom said mine is very deformed. He said yes, mine is very
Yeah,
deformed.
no, his
crazy.
does have, and here's the cool thing, and this is why I'm keeping them. And one of the reasons is because Fathom's Electric Blue Jack. So all the ones I have now, I don't know for 100% fact, but I'm assuming, they coming from the same breeder. I got them from a wholesaler. I assume the wholesaler got them from a specific. I know they came from Indonesia, so they probably had multiple parents. So I can't say they came from the same parents, but they came probably from the same bloodline in general. So I have noticed that some of them do have beaks, some of them do not. Now, as they get older, will their body kind of contort? I don't know, but this is why I'm keeping them, because I'm gonna see if they do. But they definitely have they definitely have like weird mental issues, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like you relate to them ever? Or?
No, they just occasionally one will just kind of spin out of control and just either die or don't die. But it'll just do this weird all over the tank, upside down, sideways, and just.
Jeez.
Mhm.
Yo, I see that Beto donated $2. Funk, looks like you're on the hook. He says, Funk, send me 2 free Betas.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get right on that one, Beto. They're on their way. Go over there, stand by the mailbox.
Yo, he's gonna open the box. It's gonna be all the spoons. It's
Just spoons.
gonna be all spoons in a cup.
Now, did this year? Did you work in 2 different stores this year, or was the other one before?
Yeah, this is the second one I'm working at.
Wow, that sounds painful.
Well, he swore he wasn't going to go back to the store. Then he calls me all excited, dude.
I don't know, man. Like I said, it was supposed to be part-time, man.
Hey, it's all good. I mean, well, Jorge, what about your 2025, man?
I know,
What's
right?
going on?
2025 was the year of change for me.
Yeah.
Hey, Atkins.
Yeah, no doubt. Realization. He had an awakening. I feel like
he downloaded TikTok. Come on, let's calm down.
Well, it was a year of change for me, because if you go back to my channel at the beginning of the year, I was expanding the fish room.
Yeah.
And you go to the end of the year, and I'm done. That same fish room.
Yeah. But I will say, man, that I think it's paying off. I think the tanks, every time when your videos pop up, I'm like, damn, the tank looks nice. Whose is that? And I see the username, I'm like, this can't be right.
Yeah. Somebody he's doing a fish room tour of somebody else's tanks.
Right.
Yeah, because it really started getting a little bit out of hand for a while there with the breeding rack, where it was nothing but algae. Not that it's bad. I mean, I didn't have a problem with that, but it really became a situation where I was like dreading coming in here, because I had to do stuff. It wasn't coming in here and seeing what I could do, is coming in here and having to do something, because I had to do water changes, or I had to do this, I had to move fry, I had to do all these other things. Um, and I, honestly, the last time that I was able to move some plants and fish and stuff like that, I kind of had a disappointing experience because I wasn't able to go directly to the store to drop them off. It was kind of like a meet halfway point, and then I just happened to pass through there because I was headed to Texas. So I went and we were up there for seeing our son and everything. And when I got back, and I called the store to find out how things had worked out, and it turned out that everything was dead. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay. So after that, it was kind of like it's not worth the trouble. It was cool.
Man.
It was one of those things where it's like everything died. Everything really.
That's crazy.
So I was like, whatever, because it was a bunch of plants, and I was like, all right, that I don't have the time. It was cool because it was a way to offload stuff, but at the end of the day, I was spending more money than anything else, and I was really just doing it for the love of the sport.
Mhm.
And but once it became more of a burden, it was kind of one of those things where it's like, do I really? When you start thinking is like, I don't know if I want to continue to do this, you've kind of overextended yourself, and that's kind
Yeah.
of where I was at. And I know I had that conversation. Funk and I talk a lot off camera, and I remember calling him up and I was telling him, dude, I'm thinking about doing this, and I thought he was going to say don't do it, and that was kind of the reason. And he immediately said, do it. I said, what do you mean? He goes, do it. You'll realize that that's what you need to do. And and I was like, what? He goes, dude, I had to do the same thing, and I haven't regretted it ever since. So I was like, all right, well, I'll start doing it. And at first it was kind of reluctant. In a way, in my stupid brain, I was kind of like, oh, you failed, kind of like in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
No, I know, but that was just me with myself. It's like, taking them down, that means that I wasn't able to successfully do this. But once I started getting past that and starting going back to, it's like, all right, now I kind of look forward coming into the fish room, sitting down, enjoying the aquariums. It really has been a positive thing. The other thing is that it's also allowed me to venture into other realms of other hobbies, which this year also was the very first year I set up a little terrarium. And that's kind of going into Nick's neck of the world. Because the very reason that I even started interacting with Nick was because when I came across his channel, I had no idea there was such thing as aquatic isopods. And I was like, I quickly sent him a message, and I was surprised that he responded. And then we just kind of started going back and forth, and that's how I said, you know what, I got to get him on one of the live streams. What's that?
I said V2 when you said I was surprised you responded. I said V2. Well, no, I mean that's still you definitely dragged me into this whole world with that. So it's been fun.
Oh, it's your fault? Is it your fault, Mexicali?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely his fault. But hey, man, welcome to the Isopod Agenda. I'm happy to see you with some isopods, man.
Well, the only thing is that I'm finding out these guys are little turds when it comes to asking them questions regarding the isopods. Because I sent them a message. I said, what kind are these? Because I didn't know what they are. I mean, the first ones, and they were giving me all kinds of shit.
The store that labeled them? Like, that's what? Like, what?
Where does it say? It says you sorted isopods.
That's crazy. Sorted.
Well, it's PetSmart.
Yeah, the Petco by me has isopods, but they got the labels on it. Wow.
They're selling those. They're selling pill bugs at Petco now.
Yeah, and springtails too. And
now I'm familiar with those because I used to keep. I can't ever remember the difference between a terrarium and because I used to keep geckos and chameleons, so I would put plants in there, and I would have like water features and stuff like that. And there was always a name. Like I know paludarium, terrariums. I never really cared, to be honest with you, to actually get the name right. And I knew about the isopods and the springtails and stuff like that. I just never really cared. I was like, They're just bugs.
Yeah, I'm still venturing into the terrestrial isopods. Like I only have like 7 or so species, but they're fun. They're fun. I couldn't be some of the people like this one lady that vended the event my club just had. She keeps like 40, 50 species of isopods and then like 20 more species of springtails, and I'm just like I couldn't. That's too much. That's way too much.
Well, come to find out, at least the springtails, there's a variant. I guess they're like red orange or orange red.
Yep.
And they call them Cheetos.
Yep.
Because they look like Cheetos.
I feed the orange ones to my fish.
See, I don't mean to sound. I mean, and I guess this is just a preference thing, but for me, those are equivalent to cleanup crew like snails and stuff like that, to where they're not really a thing. They're just there to clean up stuff. You know, like they're not a star. To me, they're not a star.
They're more
they're trash guys. You know,
no,
they're like
if you spend $250 on 10 isopods, then it's a star. Okay, you just
punch me in my face.
If
I spend $250 on pill bugs, punch me in my damn face. I deserve it.
You spent $500 on 10 men, it's a star. No one's gonna tell you it's not a star. You know?
But no, I will punch myself in the face if I spend that type of money on a damn pill bug.
Oh man, come on.
What?
Get the hell out of here! How much?
Those are for isopods. They're isopods.
The most I've spent is $250 on 10. That's the most I've spent, but they're much more expensive ones than that for sure.
Oh, there are so many other things I could. You know, when I was your age, you know what I would spend that type of money on? I just can't get over it.
Jesus. It would be like this.
Another Playboy tattoo.
Yeah. It would be like this.
Put it right there.
He'd go like this.
Yeah.
See, come on, man. I stay inside with the isopods. It's good. 2025 was a great year for all isopods, I think. So I can say that much. I'll
give you that. They definitely came out. You know, you hear Rosie, for real, I'm getting a bark collar.
Yo,
and not only for you, for everybody in the house. Everybody's getting a bark collar. I don't care.
Just excited about the isopods, man. See, Rosie knows what's up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Isopods 2025, but they pill bugs and stuff like that, which is amazing to me that people are keeping. No, they have been around since I've been on YouTube. I've seen them, but never as much as in 2025.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of late to them because I was looking at some of the videos. They're like 3 years old.
Yeah.
There's a guy called, I want to say Aquarium Max or Aqua Max or something like that. That guy has got all kinds of videos on isopods. He started out as an aquarium channel and then discovered isopods, and now the name sounds like an aquarium channel, but even his logo is a little isopod on there.
Yeah.
And he's got all sorts of video. I guess there's like 4 different species in the hobby, but the color variance is where it's at. Is there's like different variations of them. That's why I said I equate them to being like shrimp, where you get all these, it's kind of like pretty much the same species, but just the color variance that you can get.
I think the thing with the isopods I do like, besides the fact there is like a ridiculous variety of them, is I do find the videos on them to be way better on average than like when I'm looking up a video for a certain fish. Like there's going to be a good video on this like niche random Spanish isopod, like with good information in it. If it's like a fish that's like equally expensive or like not common, like I'm gonna look up a video and it's going to be like 12 years ago, like a 10-second recording of the fish. And that's like all that I get, But like I said, when you spend that much on a bug, then it makes sense. You're going to probably make some videos about it.
That's crazy. What about you, Nick? 2025. Go!
2025, I think that I probably did not achieve 90% of my goals for the year, but
really,
overall, I think it was good.
What the hell did you want to do?
I mean, there's a lot of things I wanted to get done. I didn't post that many videos. You know, that's definitely a big one. I posted like one, like 2 videos.
Well, you spend all your time live streaming. Stop live streaming so damn low. You can freaking do a
Here's the
video.
thing, though, is that he does videos and he does a lot of editing. He reminds me a lot of like Fathom when he puts out a video.
The thing is, like, so the whole editing thing is like a whole thing, but the streaming time, sometimes it interferes with stuff I'd otherwise do. But honestly, most of the times when I'm streaming, I've already like exhausted myself in some way where I wasn't gonna get anything done, you know, the rest of the day. Like if I start streaming at like 8-9 p.m., like there wasn't anything productive I was going to get done, you know. So I'm up until 4 a.m., you know, and I wake up in 4 more hours, and then I'm back to getting stuff done. But you know,
well, and he does hire out or uses his services with other people, because he was doing all the intro videos for Fish Tropical.
I know I'm supposed to have already made another one. I'm behind on, so yeah. I think next year I would love to be better at editing things more in a more timely manner, and then maybe I do some more videos on other channels and stuff. But I would say the one thing the year that was great, I didn't expect the live streaming to be so, like, I'm really happy with it. Like, I got a group of people that are fun to hang out with, and it feels rewarding. It feels like I didn't expect to already reach a place where when I go live for 4 hours, I feel that I'm providing to other people what I get out of the streams I watch, which is, you know, it helps me while I'm doing a task or pass the time. Like, I do feel like I'm impacting the world in a positive way when I stream. Like, it's not just like random streaming. I am happy with that. Like, I feel like, hey, I might make a positive impact on a couple people's days by streaming for 4 hours, giving them some mindless yapping to listen to, you know?
Are you monetized?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
And you have the, so you have all that set up with commercials and stuff?
Yeah. For the live streams, there's no ads on when I am streaming. And then I'll turn them on like for the recordings at some point.
Why?
But why what?
Why don't you turn them on during the middle of your live stream?
Because it's kind of annoying to. Well, first of all, it's annoying to manage, because then either YouTube's doing it for you, or you have to manually hit it. It's just like, I don't need money from my live stream. I got like 5 people watching me, so why ruin their viewing experience? They can watch the recording.
You have more than 5 people on your live stream. Stop lying. You be having like a good 20 to 30 to 40 people, bro.
The ads are for the videos. Yeah, like, I don't need to make money off of ads for the live streams. You know what I mean? Like, if I ever start posting videos regularly, then maybe that would be something that starts making money. But people do donate in live streams. Like, they donate. I see plenty of people donating to YouTube with all sorts of very friendly messages. You know, so that's another to you guys. To you guys. All sorts of friendly messages. Like, you're handing out free betas this stream. You're handing out free betas. You're handing out free betas this stream. Like, people giving $2 just to let everyone know they're getting. You know,
not to be funny or nothing like that. In all seriousness, not to be funny, but your live streams have a lot of damn knowledge. You could always, and I told this to somebody else, and they used it. They did use it, and they started doing it, and you could actually cut your live streams up into small sections and make small videos out of them.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing that, and I have I have that kind of set up to where I could start doing that. It's just one of those things like that. But I do plan on doing that for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But like Cam Jam said, like, I'd rather, if people want to donate, then I'd rather that than like have ads on. But also, I'm not really into the donation or membership thing. Like, if people want to, they can. My whole thing is, if I provide value and like have a good stream and people feel like they're getting something out of it, then somewhere down the line, like, it'll make sense some way to work out, and I'm not worried about it, you know? So I just try to at least have, like you said, knowledge, either I have something to say or I pull up the paper and I look for the person in the chat that does know what they're talking about. And then I'm just like, okay, let me read this. All right, let's see what they say in the chat. Okay, guys, so this is what this means.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that I found really, really impressive about you, and one of the reasons why I was really looking forward to having a conversation with you is for a young person, you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the hobby. And come to find out in the interview that we had, and I was telling Funk this the other day, is that you're one of the few people that I know that reads a lot. That is that's something that you enjoy doing. It's like, and I admire that because that's one of those habits that I never picked up. I wish I had. I'd had really worked on that. But I pick up a book and I'm half a paragraph in and I'm ready to go to sleep. And so I always admire people that can sit down and read for hours.
I mean, it's selfishly motivated. Like when I first learned how to read, it was because I was tired of asking my brother to help me play the video game because it had all this text. I couldn't figure out what to do because I couldn't read it. So it's the same thing with the fish keeping. It's like a lot of stuff I want to do. All the information is in these damn papers. So like, if I want to figure out something, I'm like forced to read whether I want to or not.
So I hit up Master Cali and I was like, hey. How much? Because I'll lurk on your streams a lot because most of the time, honestly, I just want to talk crap. Because the subjects that you're talking about, I'm not into. You know what I mean? So my default is to make fun of it. So, and I know it's rude because a lot of people in there are kind of digging it. Like for instance, the last one that I kind of lurked in, you had pictures of like of adult toys. Adult toys. That's what they look like to me. It was plants. It was some part of a plant. And all I wanted to be like, is, why do you have dildos up here? It was the bucephalandra. It was the thing. You know what I mean? All I wanted to write was like, why do you got dildos? Why are you showing us dildos? That's what I wanted to say. But I was like, everybody seems to really be enjoying the conversation. I was like, I'm not going to do that as a little bit. I do that on a, regular. People would kind of expect that from me. But in the middle of the conversation, which everybody seemed to really be digging, I was like, I don't really need to. You know what I'm saying? But you was reading crap that, in my opinion, would put me to sleep. So I was like, Best Cali. I was like, how much of this stuff do you think he remembers? You know what I'm saying? I was like, because he reads a lot of information and learns in the middle of his live streams. He's learning in the middle of his live stream. And I was like, how much of this crap he actually remembers? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like 4 hours every day. I would not remember all that stuff. Like I'm asking you now, like in a 4-hour stream, all that reading, do you remember all of that in a week or 50% of it, or maybe the gist of it?
I think I remember a decent amount of it. I do. I mean, like names of things are harder. Like I'm not remembering the Latin name of every single fish. Like I'm not about to do that. But like if I actually understood something during the stream, I'm not gonna like understand it later. But also, this is like in school. Like the thing I was known for is like when we had a test, I show up before class 30 minutes. I go over my notes. I'd read the chapter, and then I get an A on the test. And that's how I got through school, because a lot of my classes were test-based, and that just happens to be something. I'm good at remembering stuff. Like
I write the answers right there. I write the answers right there. The answers, I write it right there. Or we used to have these pens that if you clicked it, it would have like a saying, and you clicked it, it would have another saying, and you could take it apart and actually write on it. So you'd be writing, you click it, you'd be like, oh, okay. Y'all remember in the chat, if y'all know what I'm talking about, pens, you click it and it have a saying on it, and you click it again and have another saying. It's like a little Rolodex. Click it, click it, click it. Yeah. But no, like what I was saying is like I would only get just like cliff notes. Like the only thing I got out of that thing that you were saying is that plants put out something that kills other like poisons or toxins or some shit like that.
But see that's
it. That's all. Like plants be putting out enzymes that kills other stuff. But don't ask me what type of plant. All I know is a penis plant puts out enzymes that kills other plants. That's all I know. That's
Well,
it.
I'm gonna. We did a test like Kahoot. I'm gonna start doing quizzes for sure. Like I think every few weeks I'll do quizzes
There you
on
go.
stuff
There
we
you
went
go.
over. But like also because I already don't know about most of the things I'm talking about. Like for you, if someone in the chat's like, "This is what I'm interested in," I like store that away in my brain. Like, okay, I've got like 5 papers on blue pigment in fish and how it affects their immune system. So
Well,
at some
here's a
point,
legitimate question for
I'll
you.
do it.
Yeah.
I'll do a stream on
Yeah.
that, and then you'll see that. Oh wait, this is something I'm interested in, and you reminded me of that recently. So
Yeah.
Beto has
Yeah.
a legitimate question for you. He wants to determine, how do you determine which information online is worth actually going over?
like on stream or just in general. I mean,
No,
Like,
just if you're trying to do research, and what are some of the legitimate sites that you, or how do you go about? Because I know you went over this with me, and that really was kind of helpful. And then the little cheats that you would do, where you would do the fine, and I'd never thought about doing that, and I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. But as far as what in your opinion, how do you determine if something is a legit source or not?
well, for most of the stuff that we're trying to look at, it's like, okay, you want to be reading some kind of academic paper, like surface level, like, okay, let me 60 seconds to explain this. Here we go. So surface level, I say type what you're looking for and then research after it. You scroll through, you look for PDFs, see what academic papers are coming up, peer reviewed or whatever. You can use Google Scholar. You can use Rabbit. Research Rabbit is a good aggregator for academic papers. Then on the second level, determining if it's worth reading. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. So Control F, Command F brings up the word search. Put in the word that you're looking for that's relevant to what you're looking for. It jumps straight to that. See if it has the info you want. If it does, maybe you scroll up. Then the next level is, okay, what institution wrote this? What was the budget for this research paper? Because, for instance, Jorge sent me these Betafish 5-gallon minimum tank papers, and it's like the worst shit I've ever read. It's useless. You can't make any conclusion from it because it's like a completely.
I just thought it was
study.
interesting that they had done it. It was one of those weird videos where it was supposed to be like some professor and I guess 2 undergrads, and they were talking about this whole paper research that they had done, and I showed it to Nick, and at the end of the day, I felt like it was a bunch of bullshit. And at the end of the day, Nick looked at it, he dove into it, he goes, "Yeah, you're right. It's not a legit." Yeah. They're making it seem like it's a legit information, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, and then you have to know how to Google, and for instance, as you start reading this stuff, you realize, oh, like in the papers, they don't call this feeding the fish. They call this nourishing the specimen or something like that. Like they just talk differently. So you have if you search something that's a commonly worded thing, it might not pop up, and then you have to put quotation marks around the words that you want, because that means that Google will only bring up results that contain the word inside the quotation mark. So
it's like saying custodial engineer. You're a janitor.
Exactly.
Custodial engineer. So
that's exactly what it is, though. Like you wouldn't find it searching janitor, but if you searched custodial
engineer. Yeah. So listen, before we keep going on this track, we could go ahead and turn this into the subject of the live stream. 2025 AI misinformation. How was we supposed to do that? Like, what the hell? 2025 AI misinformation. What is your thoughts on it? Because it was terrible for me. Like, honestly, terrible. People asking me questions and saying, well, I read online and this, that, and the other. How you feel about that this year that just passed? Frustrating, good thing, bad thing, what?
I mean, I think that it's for the hobby it's a mixed bag. Like you can get some, like ChatGPT is good at thinking things out, as in like you can say, hey, what do you think of this idea? And like it'll give you back something, what it thinks. And maybe you take it or leave it. Maybe it sparks an idea. But if you ask these things for information, like you're getting back pretty unreliable results. Like that's where the issue is. Like people are using it for things it's not good at.
I like using they use it as gospel, which is funny.
Yeah.
I like using it to like think out plans. Like, hey, okay, this is
that's
my
what
plan.
I use. That's what I use.
I'm gonna do this and this and this, and like see if it. But I think it's going to be a long year next year training people not to read that Google AI summary. it's just so hard. Even I'll read it sometimes for like a word definition, but like it's just right there at the top. As soon as you search something, that AI summary is right there at the top. It's hard not to just read it when it's in front of you.
Yeah, it's the first thing they show you.
But if you read it, but the problem is people. Well, for what I see, and I see, you know, where I see this a lot is in TikTok, where people will take the excerpt from the AI and then they'll put it in their post as if that was legitimate research. And I'm reading it, and I'm not the smartest person or the most experienced person. And I look at it, and I go, "That's bullshit, dude." Anybody with a little bit of experience knows that what you're saying is a bunch of shit. And but because you lack that information, and you think because AI put it out that it's legitimate information. I think it's a valid tool. It's like any other tool. You got to know how to use it to be able to get the best out of it. But unfortunately, people, I think lazy people are the ones that really struggle with it because they want an immediate response, and whatever it puts out there, they're not willing to go, okay, well, let me see if this holds up with other areas that I look into and see if it's consistent with what I find, or even just personal experience. If you can compare it off of your own personal experiences, you know, it's not, there could be a variation because, you know, things might be a little bit different, but it's enough where you get this situation that's like, yeah, this doesn't sound right. This is not necessarily totally legit.
Yeah.
So I've found, like, for me, AI has definitely helped my channel, but not in the information. It's helped me, like, on Fridays. Fridays, I drive to Tampa. That's about 45 minutes. Depending on traffic, it'll be an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. I'll hit Gemini, right, on my phone. And I'll be like, okay, like somebody will ask me a question. And that's normally what I've been doing my videos is directly from what somebody has asked me. And it's been doing really good for me, actually. Because I feel more invested because somebody's really asking me instead of me trying to come up with something like, what should I do a video on? Somebody's asking me. So I feel a little bit more invested in it. So I'm driving, and like, for instance, this video I'm about to do next is on smelly water. Somebody asked me, you know, why does my aquarium water keep smelling all the time? So I drove down to Tampa and I hit Gemini. I said, Gemini, what is the main thing people ask about their aquariums, you know, smelly water? And I'm not asking it to give me the answer. I'm asking it on what people are asking it. Like, what are people asking you about smelly water? You know what I mean? That way I could kind of get an idea of what people are having problems with. And it kind of just makes me think about, like, okay, you know, about things that I probably haven't experienced in a very long time. Like, I forgot I don't do substrate, and I forgot that, you know, people have dead fish in their planted tanks and it sits there and dies. Or, you know, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got to make sure I address that. Or, you know, gas pockets in substrate. I got to make sure I address that. So it kind of helps me kind of like gets my brain thinking, you know, in how other people are thinking, you know, that's, and not how we think, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, like, if somebody were to ask one of us three about why is my aquarium water always stink, we probably wouldn't even be able to answer the question because it seems like a really dumb question because we're like, what the, clean your goddamn tank. You know what I mean? That's like, you know what I mean? But if you're new to the hobby, there's actually a lot of reasons why your aquarium stinks, but we forget that, you know, so I use it as a tool to help me think. That's what I use it for.
Yeah. Like I would like to next in 2026, like I want to use it for more like data processing stuff. Like this year I tried to I used ChatGPT and I had it write a code to download all the available fish listed on some retailer sites, their price, the names and everything. And that was cool. I was like, cool, I can hit this button and every single fish listed on every single site is going to download, and I'll have the names, the prices, and if it's in stock or not. And then And then I downloaded all the live transcripts and live chat logs of like 10 different YouTube channels, and I was trying to use it to like analyze what people said and like trends and like what's the most mentioned fish or something like that. So like that's like the kind of stuff I'd like to try more next year.
It definitely helps you think like what people outside of our bubble are thinking. You know, I found it very helpful for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're being very, very kind of geeky about it, you know. But
come on.
You know, you talk about writing code, man. I just want to know what the heck.
I didn't write it. The AI wrote it. Okay.
I would have never thought about asking it to write code and stuff. When you said that, all I thought was like stuff going up and down the screen like the Matrix.
Yeah, he's looking at the numbers of the Matrix. I'll tell you, the one thing that I have liked about AI is it's helped me do better thumbnails. That's one thing that I can appreciate from AI. Stuff that I just don't have the patience to sit down there and look for things and put them there. AI has made it so easy to do really good looking thumbnails, and all you got, they're pretty much plug and plays. You know, you just kind of replace one thing with yours and you're pretty much set. And that is the one thing that I have really appreciated from AI. But as far as using it as the rest of the tools, I haven't really played with it too much.
I tried it. It didn't work out for me. But yeah, I tried it. It didn't work out.
So I'm kind of curious. So wrapping up 2025, like hobby fish keeping wise, like hobby community wise, like what do you think was like the big, you know, this was what you remember this year for, you know?
People picking on father fish.
Joe, this is the year
father fish train.
Yes.
Everybody
they're still doing it. They're still doing it. And I'm like,
I was so bad. I was on stream. I was like, dog. So everyone just decided now it's cool to hate on father fish. He's been saying the same stupid shit this whole time. Now they wrote the wave of waves up, and then as soon as he started falling off, they're like, okay, let's get all the views we can going down. Like some guy was talking about, I gave up. This is why I gave up on father fish tanks. And in his video, he's like, yeah, I was keeping dirted tanks like 3 billion years before father fish came around. I'm like, oh, so you knew enough to know that this was fucking dumb, but it was a trend, so you did it for your channel.
100%,
like you're not getting any credit for hating on father fish now. I was talking to Louise, and she said when the resurrection jars went viral, she made a killing on medications that year and people would, like tens and tens of people were coming in saying they went out, got some disgusting stuff from a local waterway, put it in their fish tank, thought they'd never have to feed it again. The fish got all sorts of worms, all sorts of tuberculosis, plague, you know, just the worst. And the tank smells like a swamp. And it's just like, that's why I go in on father fish, because the stuff he says does actually make people's lives worse if they listen to it. But you can't just sit here and now decide 2025. So I'm glad you said that, because this was definitely
it was one of those things where all of a sudden everybody was you know, you had people that were digging up his entire past history and making live streams about it. You had people that were all in on him the year before, and then all of a sudden 2025 is like, oh, I'm totally disappointed. I don't want to do this anymore. This and this and that. And I was like, where did this come? I know Funk was getting pissed, and he would call me every time. He goes, dude, there's another one.
There's another one.
The moment they were like, oh shit, he's not breaking like 100K anymore ever. Like, oh, he's never gained above it. All right, guys, we got to cash out on this name while it's still something in the algorithm. I'm putting father fish in the title right now.
I just watched one the other day of somebody getting, but he didn't say his name, but it was obvious who he was talking about. But you want to know the funny thing was, I looked in the comments, and there was people defending the dirted natural aquarium. So it's like, it's strange. It's just a weird phenomenon. But the idea of just riding that train up and down on, you know, riding it up and riding it down, was really disgusting, to be honest. I mean, there's no other word to it. It's just disgusting and low. It's very low. It was very low.
I mean, you know, I have no problem with going in on someone, but like, it was like kind of it was like so obvious that everyone kind of collectively was like, oh yeah,
Yeah, it was the obvious.
let's kick him. He's down now. Let's kick him while we can.
Yeah, let's.
You know?
Yeah, look at me. Yeah. So that was the trend. The other trend in 2025. I mean, aside from and it was a trend before it started. It started before 2025. Is the paying for views to push your video. I called Mexicali. I don't know, every couple of months, like pissed off, like, yo, like this freaking video came out 3 hours ago. It's got like 25,000 views and 4 comments. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, stop. Just, God dang it. But it's just a lot. So many channels are doing it. Even established channels. Which I'm like, bro, you already on top. What the hell? You need to push more people. In my opinion, and this is me thinking, I could be wrong. I don't know how it works. I don't see, there's only but so much room on my phone. So if you got these channels paying YouTube to push their stuff onto my phone, that means other videos that people are actually making legitimately are getting pushed down. If somebody's paying to get cut the line, other channels are getting pushed down. And at first, it was only a handful of channels because nobody actually wanted to do it because they were getting, like called out, like, oh, yeah, I'm doing it. And people called them out. But now if everybody's freaking doing it, it's like, yeah, what about all these other channels that are making legitimate videos and not paying for it? So I get irritated.
On that opinion. I think what happens is I don't look at it in that negative light. I just think that those channels are setting the subs up for failure.
They are, but in the meantime, they're pissing me off.
Well, yeah, but I don't think those channels are necessarily affecting me, and that's what I'm getting at. I don't see that being an issue where it doesn't benefit me and it doesn't affect me. At least that I can tell directly from that. It's just very interesting that you see these brand new channels, and I'm always of the opinion, do whatever the fuck you want.
I agree.
As long as you're not dragging me into your shit, I don't care what you're doing. But I know you feel like it takes away from the viewerships that are out there.
It's that, and another thing. I mean, it's not only that, but I used to judge my channels based on other videos in the same subject. Like, okay, this video is the same subject as my videos. What did they do good that I could learn from to make my channel better? Apparently pay. That's what I could do. Because that's what they did. Because this video sucks to me, but it seems they paid. So I have no way to judge my video against what's out there. Like I can't go, oh, this video is trending. Let me examine it to make my video better.
I mean, it's hard because like there is organic content that can look like it's been paid for. So it's hard, like especially at the scale, like someone's video jumps from like 100 to 500,000 and like, okay, it's something weird here, but like you could get a random video that goes to like 10,000 in a couple days.
And that's fine. Well, what we're talking about is you see these channels that started out 3 months ago, and 3 months later they're at 5,000 subscribers. And you're going, holy shit, that's pretty good. And you go, let's see what this guy's doing. This is what Fun's talking about. Oh, let me see what he's doing. He's probably found something legit that has allowed him to get 5,000 subscribers in a real short of time. And you go look, latest video, 10 views. Video after that, maybe 20 views. Video after that, 8 views. And you start looking down the line, and it doesn't match what you are seeing as far as subscriber accounts. And you see it in live streams too.
So you're talking about channels, subscriber counts specifically, like not necessarily views, like just like
people for me it's both. Subscribers. For me it's both.
You can pay for both. You can pay for views. You can pay for subscribers. Most people are, I guess, even misinformed when it comes to that because they're buying subscribers.
That's pointless.
And they're just bots. That's the sad thing is people think they're getting legitimate human beings watching their channel, and all they're doing is sourcing it out to a farm that is just gonna go and subscribe, but they're not legitimate accounts. And the reason you know that, the reason it's so easy to be able to spot, because it doesn't correlate with the views on their videos. And I use my channel usually as a gauge to see if somebody is a legit channel or not. When somebody has 3 times the amount of subscribers that I do, and I watch their videos, how they're doing as far as viewership, and I look at mine that's relatable to theirs, and they're not even close. Mine will have a lot more views than what they do, and that shouldn't be the case, because I have a lot less subscribers than that person. So that's when you start realizing, this guy is just paying for the sponsorships, and all he's getting is the minute they stop paying, that's when you see their channel just drop, because they haven't really got a legitimate subscriber source. And again, I don't care what you do with it. It's just when they come back out and then they're griping about the fact that they're not having the success that they should be because they were paying for these subscribers. That's when I go, wait a minute. You can't have it both ways. You can't be trying to cut without doing the work and getting to this point and think that is sufficient to get you the outcome you want. If you do it, that's fine, but don't bitch about it. Don't come back and say that this, they're screwing me or they're doing this and that. When you're looking at the results, when nobody's watching your videos, but yet you have this high subscriber count.
I mean, some of it is like, go ahead, folks.
No, I'm just saying the way I judge is I look at the views, and if a video has a large amount of views, they normally have a large amount of comments to go along with it. If it has a large amount of views and very 10 comments and half, you know what I mean? Half of the comments are from 5 people and the other half is him replying. That's only 5 people. And I'm like, something don't smell. You know what I mean? That's what I look at. And I go, oh, this at first I'll look at the video that, oh, this video did very well. Let me see what did so well about this. Because I do take my channel seriously. So when I see somebody doing well, I'm like, oh, let me learn. And come to find out, there's nothing for me to learn. Nothing.
Yeah. And I'll say there's ways to use, if you're a business, there's great ways to use advertising.
Yes.
I feel like all the businesses are pretty terrible at advertising. And one of the reasons why you see, if they're paying through YouTube, for instance, for views and stuff, and not translating, is because you can target people that would be interested in what you're talking about. But usually that is a smaller group and a more expensive group. So when you're in there selecting, what are you going to do? You're going to click the one that's going to give you 100,000 for a cent every click, or are you going to do the one that is $3 a click and targeting 2,000 people? The more expensive one could actually lead to people legitimately subscribing and being into you. The other one is just going to probably go to a bunch of, bot farms or something. That's why it's not worth much. The cheap views you get on advertising are cheap for a reason, Yeah.
Well, I do see a point in using the paid views, buying for views for advertising. For instance, one of these days I'm gonna do a feeding video, right? I sell food on my website, so it would make sense for me to pay for views on that as advertising for my website. But to do it on every freaking video, I guess that's your prerogative. If you have that much money, fine. I've seen people spend way, a whole bunch of money. When this first started, Mexicali knows, we kind of know who we're talking about. They spent mad amounts of money and their subscribers shot up, but their views were at very low, 58 views for this video, but they shot up so many subscribers, and then they're pissed. And it's yo, shut the hell up. And then want to say, well, it's a grind. That's a grind. It's a grind. No, it's not. It's not a grind. It's a swipe of the credit card. That's what it is. It ain't no grind.
Yeah. I think companies are super lazy. They got no hustle. Look at a lot of the dry good companies. They do got hustle. for instance, Nicole Heiger, any aquarium channel with like, I don't know, 100 views on a video, she's DMing them asking to send them a
It's a
Heiger
he.
product.
It's a he.
A he?
It's not a she.
Nicole? Oh, my bad. My bad,
Yeah, it's a
Nicole.
he.
Well, Nicole.
No,
great
Nicole
guy.
is used intentionally to sound feminine.
Okay.
That's not even the real name. It's just a fake account.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's a dude,
Jorge is on the
dude
case.
that's even uglier than me, if you can believe that.
Yo, come on. Why you gotta do my man Nicole like that?
Oh.
I rock with Nicole.
He's uglier than me.
But the point is, this takes work. It takes effort. You do need someone to message these people. You do need someone to get the addresses, send them the product. It's more effort overall. You're getting a lot of value because that person makes a video. It's a great advertisement, especially somewhere like TikTok. People on TikTok are dying to buy things like, bro, as soon as you post a product, they're like ready. They're like, yes, where can I buy this? So that is something that is really cost effective. That's why they send free stuff to people, because it really works. But it takes effort, and some of these companies that aren't used to working on that scale, they haven't figured out a reliable pipeline of making sure that happens on a scale. Like Heiger is sending products to everyone, left and right. Now they're getting their products in retail stores all over the place. Like they're moving super fast and efficient. And I'm not seeing YouTube ads from them, but yet I'm seeing more and more people talk about them all the time because I think that it's effective.
Yeah, I actually I don't have a problem with Hygar or what they've done. Sending free stuff out to people. It's worked. I don't even have a problem with their products. Well, there's some products that I think Hygar helped me sponsored one build that I did, and there was some products that I didn't feature because I thought they was crap, and I didn't want to give them. What it is I gave a college student a saltwater aquarium, and I used whatever Hygar products I could, and some of that shit was crap, so I didn't give it to the college student, so I didn't mention it in my video because I didn't give it to her. And they kind of got mad at me because I didn't mention it. And I was like, bro, it was crap. Yeah. It was crap. So I didn't give it to her. So if I didn't give it to her, I didn't put it in a video, and I didn't talk about it. So they don't talk to me. Aka hits me up all the time, but I'm just not going to just keep doing videos just because you keep sending me crap. So I don't hit them back.
I was supposed to do a video for the Heiger, like all-in-one tank I got. I ended up like doing 2 live streams, which I never intended it to be for like the sponsorship, but they turned out to seem to be pretty happy with that. They were like, what else can we send you? Because I spent like 8 hours talking about their product, and then the tank was behind me in the stream for like 30 more hours. You know what I mean? For the rest of my streams. So but for me, I like having something to talk about. So if a company sends me something, if it's terrible, they know I'm going to shit on it, and that's fine. But it gives me something. So it's a win for me. I don't mind. If it's bad, then I'll just have to tell them. But I'm kind of trying to see if the live streams, I can do more stuff like that.
They won't let you put out a video if it's bad. They won't let you put it out.
I've said plenty of negative things about that tank.
Yeah, they won't let you do a negative video. They won't let you do a negative review on a product. They'll tell you to take it down or don't put it up.
Which ones?
For Heiger, any negative reviews that you do for them, they'll reach out to you.
And what if you don't do it?
Well, you said you send them the video before you post it?
No, but they'll notify you.
Well,
and you tell them to kick rocks. What are they going to do?
I was about to say I haven't gotten that yet.
They'll just quit working with you. They won't bother you anymore. So if you don't want to deal with them, just tell you, this is shit, and they'll leave you alone.
We'll see.
But what is interesting, and I found out about this company, is that depending on what platform you are, they have different products. Because on TikTok, I noticed that they cater more to aquascapers.
Yes.
They have their own substrate, their own what are those little root tabs? They have CO2, they have regulators and stuff that I've never seen here on YouTube. It's all of that is like geared at TikTok. They have what I guess they're calling aquascape lights, the high power lights for aquascaping. It's really interesting to see how they cater differently through the platforms, because I haven't seen anybody do reviews of any of these products that I'm talking about here on YouTube, but you find them all the time on TikTok. of
Yeah.
people doing stuff for, especially the substrate. I thought that was kind of interesting that they have.
They initially contacted me on Instagram. So like
Mm.
I say, if you wanted some companies to make a TikTok or Instagram, like bro, they're sending stuff all over. It's kind of crazy.
I think it's funny with listen. I get the whole you know, when you first starting out on YouTube and you know you have like, you know, 150 subscribers or 300 subscribers or something, and you're not kind of like in the mix with other YouTubers and stuff like that. Getting getting a email from Hygar or something like that, it seems pretty exciting. I know the first time I got an email from somebody, I was like, "Oh, I hit it big! I'm big time now." But you'll see these videos where people is like, "Yeah, I'm sponsored by Hygar." No, you're not. Everybody's sponsored by Hygar. Everybody's sponsored by Hygar. What are you talking about?
Is there a company you guys would like actually be excited to have reach out to?
See, that's the whole thing, because I don't use a lot of products in my aquariums. I would be like, you see, I don't use any chemicals. I mean, I know for a while there, and Instagram kind of Fritz was working with a few of us, but I was like, I think I've even had a Microlift reach out, but what am I gonna promote if it's something that I'm not using? And so I don't know. I don't think. Let me see. I don't use any canister filters.
It would have to be a company that isn't sending out free stuff to everybody, because then I wouldn't. I'd be like, "Oh, like you're sending free stuff out to everybody, and now you're telling me that you want me to be a sponsor." It's kind of like, yeah, you know, you're not really taking me seriously because you do this to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the reason I did the Hygar one, they had messaged me. I didn't respond. They messaged me again, and they're like, "Here's a list of products." And I looked at the products, and I was like, "How about you guys send me a tank?" Or like, "Sure." I was like, "Okay, great." You know what I mean? Like, it's like if they want to give me something that I'm interested in, like Corey said, like I don't really use heaters, so the heater is on the list. I'm not going to use that. You know, like that kind of thing. But if a company's willing to work with you and they're like, "Hey, can we send you this fertilizer, Jorge?" And you're like, "No." They're like, "Well, how about this super fancy planted tank light? Like you got some nice looking tanks. Maybe you want to test out a tank light. You know, maybe that's something you could use. I have no idea what you're into."
I have to admit they got smarter, because F Zone is another one that's been contacting me almost every other day on TikTok. And but they're smart, because unlike what they do here where they'll send you the product and you do the review and you keep it, they're making you pay for it. And then if you do a review, then they'll reimburse you.
How many people actually do that though?
Yes, a lot of them, because I see a lot of people doing them.
Really?
I see a lot of people doing them.
Bomba, the villain on my channel that be aquascaping, he was telling me that they'd be sending lights and reimburse you if you give it a good review or whatever.
See, that's how. Now that I know that, how could I take anything they say seriously? Because basically, they're holding your money hostage for a good review.
I mean, I looked at their website. There was a lot of like horrendous spelling errors. So I already wasn't taking them seriously.
You know, like they're holding your money hostage for a good review at that point.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. What company would I be like, oh, I would love to be sponsored by them? Oh, that's a hard one.
At this point, at the way my hobby is going and what I'm doing, if somebody wanted to sponsor me with plants, I'd definitely say yes, because that allowed me to set up new tanks, kind of like with empty fish tank, that kind of deal. Hey, you want to do that, or you want to send me like little nano tanks to set up? I'm all in. I'll work with you.
Exactly.
But that's pretty much it. I mean, that's that at that point. But yeah, even then, I think if that was the case, maybe I might use one of their lights, or something. Maybe, I don't know, but that would be the only thing that I think I would be interested in doing, is if I got a sponsorship like that will allow me to set up little aquascape tanks.
I think that's one of the best ones to do, especially because it's easy to make that into a video or live stream. Like it's a nice activity. It's not like, okay, let me sit here and read the spec sheet of this. Like you can actually be like, hey, okay, I'm making the scape. I incorporated your product into it as it's supposed to be. Here's the finished product. Like, what do we think about it? Come on, Funk. I know you got a company out there. Come on.
Honestly, I the only thing I could honestly say, because I'm not a big chemical person. Food, I'm all over the place with food. I believe you should use a bunch of different types of food.
Oh, look, there's you never seen me do anything for what is it?
Norfin.
Northfin, and all you got to do is email them, and they'll send you the stuff.
Yeah.
But
So I mean, we're talking about a company that I'd be excited to be
this is the only company
promote.
that I will promote.
I appreciate that, but
see,
I would have to say. So my channel does have a sponsor, and that's Consolidated Fish Farms,
and I'll sponsor this one too. You know, this is even though I paid for it,
yeah,
it's a legitimate product.
It would have to be like, I don't know. It would have to be, I don't know, man. Honestly, it would have to be something very.
Why did I think of this? If
I don't know.
any of these companies want to sponsor me, go for it. I'm down.
Maybe something like that. If it was not fish related, but all fish people could kind of like get behind. You know, like, hey, this company is sponsored by this, you know, such and such hats.
Well,
hats,
that's what
you know what I mean.
Michael's Fish Tank. He was promoting. They send him a thermal. I was like, that's pretty cool because he actually uses it. I mean, it's something that you would actually use, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I would do hats. I would do hats. They send me a bunch of different hats, and I get, they get stuff, a custom hat company. You know what I mean? Something like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Our club some fire shirts, man. Those shirts were nice. I couldn't find where to buy them. Cribs.
The ones that Sentinel wears into the AM.
They sent our club some great shirts. I would wear a lot of different shirts. I was wearing the Sarah shirts because they sent them all the clubs around here. They didn't even send them to me. I wore them. I just like them. I like the Sarah like specimen pitcher container thing. I like that. I like their. It's like there's some companies. I need UNS to send me the Betarack/specimen system. I need that for the plant holding system. I think that's a light 2600 wholesale for that.
I think a company like Layden, I think it's Layden is the name of the company. That if they were to reach out and say, hey, because they do aquariums, they have nutrient substrate, things to set up an entire aquarium. It's like, yeah, I'll work with you guys. Somebody like that is somebody that I would definitely consider doing it. But as far as like lights and all the other stuff, it's not really
Chihiros, man. Come on.
Not even a light company like that. As a matter of fact, I had I think a company called Miracle Grow or Grow something. They sent me they were
something.
Yeah, they were doing like houseplants at first, but they sent me an email if I wanted to try out some of their new lights. They're doing like aquarium lights. I didn't even reach out to them and said I never even responded, to be honest. So
yeah,
I don't know.
There's a light. I'm trying to find it, but there's a company I think it has the name Metal in it. They sell the same lights as F Zone. I think that's the one you're talking about.
A little off subject, but how do we feel about the entire AI fish channels?
Ooh, you know what? It's
slap.
I guess for putting out the very basic information, they're okay, I guess, because it's not videos that I would do. I was just watching one the other day where they were talking about the was it 40 tetras, that
they do a lot of lists.
That doesn't really bother me because those are the type of videos that I don't do. I've never done a video like that. I can't.
But how do you feel about the information that is putting out there that we have to overcome?
It's no different than some of the top 10 reviews that you see out there that human beings have done.
They're just as crappy.
It's just regurgitating information that's already.
You cut out.
This is redundant.
Yeah.
It just is redundant.
I mean, at least the AI channels.
It wasn't
or something.
Yeah, but I've come across a few of them. I don't know. I guess I haven't seen an AI channel do like a significant video that is something that would So like a video that you would do with experience of keeping a certain species, like excuse me, when you do the angelfish videos, all that information is personal experience that you've had with dealing with them. I haven't seen a video like that's been put out by AI, other than, yeah, they come from this area. These are the parameters. These are the different types of species that they're out there. That's it. Those are the type of AI videos that are made with that. Now, in the future, is that going to change? I don't know.
I think it's going to be more of it.
I think what happens, you can train it, I guess, to give you the information you want, and you can customize it to put out the information you want. You know who does videos like that are AI? Convict. I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't seen him in a few weeks. But if you go to his channel, most of his videos are AI videos.
Ooh.
It's something Convict. He comes in, he pops in on your live streams and my live streams on a regular basis.
Okay, but
there's different AI channels though too. Like, I think the ones that are super obvious, like, I'm not worried about those because eventually we'll get to a point where advertisers don't want their ads to be served on AI videos. Then YouTube's gonna lower them in the algorithm and stuff like that. The AI videos that more annoy me are the ones where like the whole video is written by AI and it's just a voiceover thing.
That's like, what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like the guy, like the one that does the top 10 lists a billion times, like Aquarium Depot or something. Like,
yeah, that's the one. That's the one that pops in my head.
So he did a top 5 places to order online fish from. That he said online stores that cut no shortcuts. Not only was the list bad, like it included Aquahuna. And I love Aquahuna, okay? I love them.
Really?
But they put Aquahuna up there with like Dan's Fish and like Wet Spot. And I'm like, something isn't making sense here. Then it was like a koi store that actually was out of business. And in the video, the recording of their website actually had the thing saying like shipping has ceased forever, after this date. And like it, but you know what was in the description? The affiliate links to each one of those places where they get a commission if anyone buys from it. So like channels like that, they just exist to create these lists that shove people towards affiliate links to buy fish. And AI just writes everything. They just do a voiceover.
I just think there's gonna be more channels like that.
I think a channel that I was really enjoying just recently did a video like this, and I can tell, and I'm almost even thinking that his voice is being used as he's figured out a way to read it for him in his voice, because the way he's reading the information is very rigid. It's not like a way, not like any of his other videos that he's done. And I hate it because I kind of really like his channel, and I saw this. He did it for the last 2 videos that he put out there. And I'm like, oh no, it's you can tell it's all scripted because the way it reads. And I think it's AI reading it in his voice, because there's just that uncanny,
weird cadence. It's a weird cadence.
Yeah. And I'm like,
and also a lot of these channels with no faces, like I've done this for work before. Like you can, if it's not trained on your voice, you can speak it and then put it through a filter. And like I think a lot of these no face channels, like some of them do run their voices through an AI filter to increase how anonymous they are. So like that's like another aspect to it, is like, okay, we got the scripts AI, maybe a human's reading the script, but then their voice is either, like you said, is trained to be their voice, or their voice is altered from AI. Maybe they want to sound like a nice little fish lady, okay, oh my God, look at these cute fish. I need a man. I need a man that has a school of corridoras.
So I did some AI shorts, right? Where I basically wrote out the script, and I had like a David Attenborough one. But it was so obviously a joke. Like it was like there's one I did. I had like this Indian chick, and she was reading how keeping fish is gonna get you laid. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
what? Wait, what?
Yeah. Like how being a fish keeper is gonna get you laid.
I gotta go.
Man.
Huh? Was that Mexicali?
No, I'm gonna go look for that video. I remember it.
Yeah,
short, right?
Yeah, it was a short, but it's like super. I think it was a short. I don't know, but it was super obvious, and it was just for fun. Like it wasn't serious at all. Of course, I did this other one where it had like, what was those? I don't know. It was just like the one with David Attenborough, and he was talking about. Yeah, I don't know. It was so silly that there's no way anybody could have took it seriously. I mean, there was some bits of actual information in it, but it was just so ridiculously silly. And I was like, I don't feel like this was a lie. I don't feel like I'm lying to people because it's obviously ridiculously silly. But there's some that are so, like you said, they're trying, like me with my fake face and my fake voice. Why don't I just freaking do the video? I often wonder, could AI mimic me? Because I mean, I am. Huh? You think it could mimic me and people be like, oh, I didn't even know that's like exactly like Aquafunk does a video?
I think it's getting to that point.
You think so? I would be pissed. I'd be pissed. Because I'd be like, well, I'm just giving it them.
Yeah, I think with some of the bigger channels, that's going to be an issue.
I do have a question, a little off topic, but from what we were talking about before, companies and things in 2025. I feel like 2025 is the year that fish food becomes like fish already has been going towards, whereas more people are going upon themselves to buy wholesale and to sell it themselves retail. Because we have a lot of these basement operations of people bringing in fish. That's been a thing, but I'm noticing more and more people doing that with food. Like on TikTok, some guy hit me up. He was like, I want to send you my shrimp food. And I like look it up. I'm like, oh, I recognize this. And it's so crazy. Like, and I asked, because Funk, I know you sell food. So like, what do you think of that?
I actually think people have been doing it for a long time. It's just now really getting to the point where it's coming to light because so many people are doing it. And people like you are, young people like you are doing deep dives, digging into. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one. You want to hear it?
Yeah. And we'll get back to it.
Ultimate secret to becoming a bigger, better lover and a stronger man. And trust me, it's not what you think. It's not hitting the gym or reading 1,000 self-help books. It's tropical fish. Yup, you heard me. It might sound like BS, but smell what I'm cooking here. Picture this. You're at the club and Lil Hottie asks you about your hobbies. You could say you like hiking or cooking, both great hobbies, no doubt. But what if you casually drop, oh, I keep a tropical fish aquarium? Boom! Instant panty drop. Females are naturally curious about big, unique hobbies. It sets you apart from the crowd. Let's break it down, shall we? Why does this work so well? First off, keeping tropical fish shows you have patience. These little guys need a lot of care and attention. It's not just about feeding them, it's about maintaining their environment. And let's be real, patience is a pretty sexy quality. It shows you can handle life's ups and downs. Get it? Ups and downs? Today,
are you for real, dog? What the hell?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I don't feel like I'm lying. That's so ridiculous. Anybody be like, "Oh, you're trying to be that? That's AI." I'd be like, "Yeah, you're right. It is." Like, did you think it wasn't?
I didn't realize. Yo, I was said something fucked up. Wow. I was gonna say, like, it sounds like Amazon customer service, like giving me game. Like, what the fuck's going on right now, bro?
Oh man. Anyway,
so critical mass. You said the food things hit critical mass is what it is.
Oh yeah, I think people have always been doing it. Like and then people like you who are like all into like investigative reporting and crap like that, start kind of like bringing that shit to light. Like, yo, like, hold up, this person says they made this food and we find out they didn't, but they've been around for a long time. Yeah,
I gotta shout out Aquatic Provisions because like I feel like he put me on, like, trying to figure out what the fuck brands he owned in the past, like, put me on to so many different things. Like, he owned the Glosso Box Factory. It has the basically same fertilizer, same even bottle as the old Easy Green bottle. And then you got Thrive, and you put these things together, and you realize, oh, this is all, like, manufactured, same places, slightly different percentages. And it's like you said, like you start to realize like, oh, and that's why it was interesting when I read some of the business report papers. It was saying that like this year, with pet stores and a lot of stores, like in-store brands, white labeled in-store brands did really well, or like increasing to be a thing. So that's why I've been saying, like, I think every store should have their own food, because I think that's what it's going to be. It makes sense, because like if you order fish from Tropical Fish Co., why not order, whatever white label food they have? And it's not like you're not going to buy food from anywhere else, but it's like you're already ordering from this place. So I'm still going to order my Aquafunk food because I like Aquafunk's food. But if I'm buying something from another place, why not pick up some Golden Pearls or something?
And not only that, is you said the word bulk, because money's tight for a lot of people. So everybody's trying to find a way, especially when you have a bunch of aquariums, you're trying to find a way to make this work. You know what I mean? So if you can get off-brand food, but good and well, like about food at this point where it's like, you know what, all this food is basically the same thing. I can read a nutritional label. I know how to feed my fish. I know the nutrition. I can give them this and then supplement it with this and and save me a couple of bucks. I can use that to get the bug bites. And that. So I think people are being more,
You can't get away with the same markups as before. Like, Aquarium Co-op just came in with a price axe to like every single product. The brine shrimp can from $35 to $24, which was what it was priced before. When it went up, it was because of tariffs. When it went down, it was we took a look at the price. The plants went down, the bulk magic feed went down, and they're not the only ones. So if you have your markups are gonna have to get smaller, because more people, like you said, are looking at the price. They're like, look, I do want this, but man, this thing on Amazon, like, seems like my fish will survive eating it.
So
what I mean? They want to spend that money on that low iron tank.
I was going to say, I think where it really matters, especially when you're talking about trying to, be more cost efficient, is when you have multiple tanks. The one person that has one tank, two tanks, they can still go out and buy the brand, because that's all you're buying is the brand. The quality of the food is advanced so much that most of the foods out there are pretty much on par with each other. It's not there's very few differences. But when you have 10, 15, 20, 100 tanks, the last thing you want to be spending is your entire budget on trying to, go buy the extreme brand, which is a lot more expensive than the same product, which is, what is the one that you found on Amazon? It's aquatic something.
Aquatic foods and
which is basically the white label for all these other foods anyways.
I've seen aquatic
foods and Black Worms Co. on eBay, man, they got everything. It's great. And also, yes, if you have one tank, you can still buy the brands, but you may not be wanting to pay shipping for a can or two of food. Those minimums on everyone are going up, where before you could buy 25 whatever dollars of food and the shipping would be fine. Now it's not the case. So I think now it's also important, if you are a brand with food, like, you got to get that food into the stores, because these people still go to pet stores, and you'll see the TikTok say, don't buy this betta food, but you can buy bug bites, which is in like every single store ever, so you don't got to pay for shipping for that,
But that's my take on it. I think everybody has been doing the relabeling, rebranding for years. I was very surprised to know how many people are actually repackaging different foods that are made by the same company I get my foods from. I was super surprised.
I gotta bring up. You see Father Fish in his new food line, man.
Bro, listen, man. Listen. You know I like Lou as a person, but even when I saw that, I was like,
was it an ounce of Golden Pearls for $20?
Is that how much it is? I don't know. I haven't.
Look, I don't think Father Fish could ever be mad at me, because I've defended him. My only problem I don't have a problem with him hawking food. You know what I mean? I'm doing it. How could I have a problem with it? The only problem I had with it was him saying, oh, fish want to eat fish. And I'm like, really? All fish want to eat fish? What about the little ones that only eat bug and algae? You know what I mean? Because that's the whole thing. It's primarily
he did it. It's close. This is the closest thing to nature. A breakthrough in food. Low heat flakes, and it's repackaged brine shrimp direct flakes. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. Well,
but no, it is. It really was like, it really was. A very small amount, and he takes a picture of the brine shrimp direct bulk can that he's repackaging it from. So you know exactly what he's taking it from. That's the part I think is like funnier.
Is it repackaged for real?
Yes, he takes.
I didn't know that. I just saw the one you was like, don't feed your fish. Buy this fish food. I saw you and you did that. I was like, oh, I wish I could say something about that, but I can't.
No, he takes a picture of the bulk. He takes a picture of a giant can of bulk resupply flakes, and like then he sends it to you in like a soup container. Like the flakes come in like those little tiny soup containers with the lid that you might get like the isopods in. Like he straight up just repack. It's not even like a legit. Like, bro, you're packaging food for real and putting the spoon in and making it nice, putting the label on. Like, no, bro, this is just like, give me the money. Give me the money.
But you know what? He would probably be better off, even if he said if you want to support him, that's the way you can support him. I like what Funk has always said. He's always been very upfront.
Yeah, transparency, bro.
And I buy it because I'm going to buy food anyways. And if it's a way that I can support him, why not get it from him? And
exactly.
And I just wish people would be a little bit more sincere that way. And I think people would support him more instead of you trying to outsmart him.
I do too.
Well, because the price being too much wouldn't be as bad if you weren't pretending you like walked on water and transferred water into wine to create it.
Here's the problem with trying to fake the funk. In this day and age, somebody gonna find some shit. You know what I mean? You can't. Somebody's gonna find out. So you can't be like, "This is my formula." You can't do that anymore. You used to be able to. You used to. Like a couple years ago, I could have bought that food and put it in my thing, and had my face on it like this, and say, "This is Aquafunk's funky fish food," and nobody would have known.
Well,
but here we are, 2005.
I'm going to say something that you wouldn't say. He called me up. He called me up and he said, "They're telling me I can make this my food." He goes, "But I don't feel comfortable doing that." He goes, I have to be legit. They actually, the company told him, "We don't care if you rebrand it as Aquafunk food." And he struggled with that so much.
I did.
At the end of the day, I told him, just be upfront about it. Be upfront about it. And you don't ever have to feel that the repercussions of somebody coming saying, "Oh, Funk lied. This is not his food." Have somebody like Nick dig into. Oh, where's he getting?
But the thing is, like, it's a positive because then if I look at where the food's coming from and I'm reading the brochure, I'm like, damn, this is like some aquaculture. They've got all sorts. Some of them have paper. Some of them have papers written on the product trying to prove that it's good for the fish. It almost is better if you could say, "Hey, look, this is like some science-backed formula. I didn't make it." They breed billions of zebrafish a year just off of this.
And to be honest with you, that was another selling point for me not to say it was mine. It was like, why would I do that when I could be like, but look at all the scientific crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what this is, but it sounds really cool. You know what I mean? But I mean, I've learned what it is, but I was like, this is a lot of stuff, you're getting. If it were to be, if I were to say it was mine, now I'm gonna have to rewrite all this crap and change it up to make it fit. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to do all that. They already did it for me. So no, I've always held my, like, people honestly trust me. I think I've retained that respect since I've had my channel of trust. I would never want to put myself purposely. I mean, I might accidentally say something. I said something in a video 6 years ago that has changed since now. Okay, it happens. But I'm not gonna purposely say something that I know not to be true and put my trustworthiness out there on out there so somebody could say, "Hey, you lied," because I wouldn't. Nah. If I can't look at myself in the mirror, then nah.
I agree.
You know, I just can't. Yeah, I can say packaged by Aquafunk.
Well, you don't have to say because you said on a live stream packaging the food. So
I know you
Yeah.
said that, and I think that's actually good because it's like, oh shit, he look at Funk, like he's putting in some work, like he's got to
Yeah.
repackage it for, you know, it's kind of personalized, you know, he's by hand, like the food is passed through his hands to you, you know.
I don't know. I just like I said, I just felt like it was disingenuous to try and. That's how come everything is staple. That's how come I call everything staple because it's not my formula. It's a staple. It's
Yeah.
a staple.
But that's fine,
know,
you know.
this definitely looks so corporate in the back, you know, like it's a legitimate company.
But if you read it, it's like really general and be like, yo, go look at the website for the real one.
Like extra large font so that he could be.
That's because I can't read shit. Like, you know that.
A lot of people appreciate that though. You're not the only one.
See?
I know, and that fried food you sent me, I really like. I need to get some more of that. I do.
I'm really surprised. I'm really happy with that stuff. I'm surprised. I always get a kick out how people use it. Like people don't use it how I assume, and that's kind of the point. I was like, yo, I'll send you this. You know what you're doing. Do it whatever the hell you want to with it. But I get a kick out of how people tell me what they do with it.
They got a good feeding response. So wait, did you release it as a viable product yet?
Yeah.
This is the company I buy it from. Because
All
June's asking what company do I use.
Let's go. Okay. Aquafunk order. Let's go.
But that's not what it's about. So 2026.
Wait. We haven't talked about the fish from 2025, bro. We talked about the food.
Give me a second.
Okay.
I'll use the bathroom real quick.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
let's talk about the fish in 25. The stars. The star or the bullshit that any bullshit other than the father fish.
Yeah, something else.
Is there any other BS out there as far as videos where you was like, oh, this is bull? As far as fish goes?
As far as fish goes, I don't know. Him saying not to feed your fish, I guess, is probably pretty dumb.
No, like just in general, like just like channels. How can we forget?
Okay.
KZ Tropicals.
Oh, there was that.
That was a big deal.
Wait. Let me rebrand this though. Let me rebrand this as for 2025. The growth of fish content reaction streams.
Yes.
Okay. More
finally.
People.
Finally.
Yes. Finally.
Yes.
Because this niche is missing the thing that kind of, when nothing's going on, just creates something out of nothing. And as people watching stuff and talking about it with everyone.
I like it. Because this has been the only genre for years where everybody was so nice, they could never, don't say nothing negative about nothing. Only say nice things about everybody. You know, that whole, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. The fish genre has held that for so freaking long. Finally, people are saying like, this video sucks. That dude sucks. He sucks. They suck. You suck. Everybody sucks. Finally, people are being real.
We're saying the growth of people reacting to fish content on fish streams, and we brought up the KG thing. Like this is now people are doing it a bit more.
Yeah.
Where you can be negative. That was just hilarious because for so many things about it was funny. Just the way it started, how they were reacting to it, and John hadn't seen it before, like when they went live and stuff, like just everything about it. But like it shows how it's like a new thing in this genre, like reacting to content on stream, and they didn't quite know how to go about it, and it kind of
everybody lost their shit. Everybody lost their shit, bro. It was awesome. I loved it. I don't know. It was great for me.
Do you feel like the situation in general, like, do you feel like it was like, yeah, that was fine, like, you know, it was fine, you know?
Thoughts?
Either of you, yeah. The thoughts on that situation, like post its conclusion. How do you feel about it? It's been a while.
I'll tell my after him.
I don't know. It's just I think the only problem I had with it is because it was a smaller channel. You know, and granted, the kid had come on. He had done a previous video, I think, where he was trashing on some of the bigger channels just to try to get a reaction and try to make his video go viral.
Yeah.
It seems like young people like to do that kind of shit.
But wasn't there controversy on if he was a kid or not? Like, it seems.
Well, it turned out that he was a little bit older, but I consider you a kid. That's the problem. You know,
right. I mean, he was younger than KG for sure.
Oh yeah, a lot younger. Maybe he's in his 20s or 20, 18, 19 in that range.
I mean, you could be 28 and an idiot. He clearly was,
Well, I don't think he was quite that old. And but obviously
he spoke like a young person.
Yeah. And that's where I was like, God, man, they're really coming after. And the problem was here's the thing though. If they had taken the time to watch a few of his other videos, they would have known that a lot of like where he had the knife, like where she had a big problem with it. The kid has already addressed that issue on several of his videos where he was saying, yeah, I know this is a small tank. It was just like a grow tank. I'm working on getting the bigger upgrade. But because they didn't know any of the previous stuff that he had talked about, they were just kind of shitting on him without really having all the info.
Man, everyone says they're gonna get him. Yeah, but that hexagon tank was a catastrophe. There's no explaining that, bro. He had the 8 fish and the guppies with scoliosis and a whirlpool of stress and disease. Okay, I don't want to hear no shit about. Yeah, bro. Everyone says they're gonna get a bigger tank. Okay, I don't care. That hexagon was still the video.
I don't know. He kind of dropped out. He did like 2 or 3 videos after that, and then
God, that's the best thing that ever happened to his channel.
Just came back, bro. He just came back. He posted a video that said, "My life isn't going too well."
Look, the only problem I had with that, first of all, I have never done a reactionary video. As much as I wanted to, if I ever did a reactionary video, it would, oh man, I really, it would have to be on someone that was bigger. But if I did a reactionary video on someone that was bigger, then you're just trying to get a rise out of me and get views off of my channel because I'm bigger. So that's how come I don't do it. You know what I mean?
Now, when I talk shit about people, I just do it in the stream. I never really put it in the title anyway, but I just do it in the stream. That way, when they hear it, they know it's because they're miserable, pathetic, and they watch my stream just to see if I'm going to mention them.
Yeah.
So I like to leave the nuggets. So now people are gonna come just because they don't know what I'm gonna talk about. The title could be abuse philandra, and in the middle, I go on a rant about Mexicali smells bad. You know what I mean? You just never know.
That's true though. But that's true though. So. But the problem I had, and I've got into squabbles over the same exact subject. The problem I had is if we put ourselves on this public platform for public accolades and public praise and public likes and public subscribers and public comments, don't be surprised when somebody says something that you may not like publicly. And everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't say that. That's not nice. And I'm like, you got to take the good with the bad. You have to take the good with the bad. If you're going to put yourself out here for the good, you have to be okay with taking the bad. And that was my only issue, was people saying, you should not do that, or you can't do that. It's like, bro, he put himself on a public platform for public judgment, on public display. He should be okay with everything that comes along with it. And that was my only issue.
That's why I don't really care. It was a small channel. I mean, like, they're acting like KJ Tropicals is like
big channel, little channel, don't matter.
His channel is bigger, but it's not that big where his life is over. Okay, like it's gonna be fine. Like he got
a lot of subs off of that. He got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So it would, if that was me, bro, man, the day someone makes a video mad at me, it's gonna be the best day of my life. It's gonna go crazy. I'm gonna do a 48-hour stream. That's all I'm gonna fucking talk about. I'm just gonna milk it for all it's worth, bro.
Yeah. but that I got into a squabble like that with this one guy, JH got mad at a friend of mine, Fish Keep in Jamaica, where he was like, "You shouldn't say anything negative about me," and I'm like, "Why? You only want people to say positive things about you? That's it? Because you do a whole lot of shiesty stuff, bro, and you put it out in public, and you don't want nobody to say any of that stuff, but you just want people to give you likes and say good stuff." And they was like, "Stop judging me." No. And I'm like, "I'm not judging you. You putting yourself out there. Like, I'm just saying what the stuff you telling us. Like, I'm like a mirror, bro. Like you doing this, that, and the other." And I'm being like, "Well, this is what you did. See, this is the video you did it in. And you're expecting me to forget all that and just see the good, you know?" Like, so when people start being like, "Oh, you can't say anything negative about me," that's when I get a little kind of like, you soft little, you know, I don't know.
I'm kind of curious, like, lessons from the incident beyond that. Like, 'cause I think more of the interesting stuff was like how people reacted to them reacting, but then how they reacted to people reacting. Like, that's where I felt like it got like interesting of like, what can we take away from this?
That's the problem sometimes with doing that. It's like, and not to bring him up again, but like people that watch Father Fish, they're so militant about
Cultish,
yeah. But it's his viewers, and they'll come after people. I mean, they're pretty vicious sometimes. I'll sit back and watch and go, man, these guys. It's funny how much. I don't know if they think
He's
that
got a cult.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess that's if you want to call it that. I guess.
I
mean,
look,
I guess it would fit.
I'll say this, but like, bro, he was a pastor for like 1 billion years. Okay,
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think of that religion, he is used to creating a community that's dedicated to a shared value, and way of a view of life. So I think he has created a very strong community that not everyone with the YouTube channel is able to do. I think that's part of it.
Well, I seem to think what Father Fish has is what a lot of larger than life character has. They're very left or right, hot or cold. People in the middle, people in the middle kind of, don't really get a whole lot. If you're really, really adamant on one subject, real loud, then you seem to gain. I mean, look at the politics today. You know what I mean? It's the same mentality. People who are center, they kind of don't, they get lost in the sauce. It's the people who are loud on their particular talking points and they're unapologetic about it and they're just so in your face with it. They seem to attract the most loyal, outrageous, soldiers.
Are you telling us you're building an army right now? Is this?
I am building an army. I am building an army.
Last time we talked about this, you got people looking at your channel. We got banned.
Yeah, I was talking about doing we was talking about doing a compound, and we started talking about all the. And everybody in the chat kept writing all the ABC boys' names, and I was like, "Stop writing all their names!" Like they can't. And what about the da 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 da? All the letters, and I was like, "Stop putting the names out there." Like if I say it is one thing, but when y'all keep typing it in the chat, it starts raising red flags. Yeah, it was like 2 hours of just talking about.
It doesn't help you're on the stream with a damn camouflage hat. You start talking about.
But wait, what do you feel like is the takeaway from the whole, printing out every mean comment, reading it on stream situation? Like, is there lessons to be learned from that? Like,
I don't know. Who did that?
I think it's going to continue. I think it's a trend that's not going away. I think it's going to continue. I think people just got to get used to the new normal.
My only take on all of that, I think what could have been a teaching moment got really turned into a shit show, and I think that's the part that was unfortunate, and maybe because that's probably the way I would have gone about it is instead of he
didn't intend on it being a teaching moment though. That wasn't the purpose of his video at all. It wasn't intended on him being It was like, yo, look at this. This is messed up.
I don't know if
This
I
is
can
effed
say
up.
that because I've never spoken to him and
Oh.
to really see if that's what he was thinking. That would be an assumption to think that was the situation. But I just think there is a certain responsibility that as you gain subscribers that, but that's just me though. I think very differently from a lot of other people. That's why I don't like getting into scandalous situations because I really don't care about them really that much. And I think I'm more of trying to build community and trying to, bring people together. And I'd rather it be a positive situation than a negative situation.
Yeah.
Although it's a lot easier to be negative. It's very easy to be negative.
I think that was the point of the video, period. The whole point of it was to, hey, I'm going to do something that nobody really does. I'm going to do a reactionary video on this video, and I'm going to talk negative about it because nobody really does it. I'm trying something new. And that's what he did, and that's what happened. And like it or not, I mean, I wouldn't do it. I've thought about doing videos like that before, but I never did it because I was like, people don't come to my channel for drama. They come for this guy's silly, he's funny, ha ha ha. So that's really off brand for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's really off brand for me.
But would it be drama for you just to like watch a YouTube video, like the Indian lady telling you how to get girls with fish tanks, and like you're reacting, like, like I feel like it was just accidental that it became a drama thing. You know what I mean?
No, I think the whole point of him making that video was to highlight all the bad stuff about what he felt was bad about what that kid was doing. That's I don't see how anybody could see it any other way. He did not agree with what was going on with what that kid was doing, and he wanted to point it out. And everything that occurred because the fish genre is not used to them. They're not used to that.
That I really found disappointing was their reaction to the whole situation and how thin-skinned they were about it, because they had no problem doing what they did, but then when they got the negative pushback on what they had done, that they really got offended by that. And that's where I lost a lot of respect for the both.
That's what I was talking about with the printing out the mean chat comments. Like they printed out stuff that was being said about them.
Well, I can't argue with you on that one, but there are certain things that were said about their marital relationship that, whether I agree with it or not, isn't for me to say because I'm not there. But whenever you get into anybody's marital relationship issues, things are gonna go off the rails. That's just gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I think that's when I think that's when things really got out of hand. But I knew it was gonna happen.
I agree, but also like it was also an excuse because like for like Steve mentioned, like they would talk about Scotty. Scotty didn't say anything, in the chat about anything, but they had a previous issue with them, so it's kind of like everything got wrapped into one stream.
Yeah.
I guess their karma worked out because they've been putting Scotty through it over here, man.
Say what?
I said, I guess the karma worked out in their favor because they've been putting Scotty through it over here, man.
Oh yeah,
and Scotty through it.
Well, all I'm saying, I see more people trying that later on, but I see it. Maybe it's younger people trying that. I don't think older people are going to do that. Younger people who kind of are into that stuff, who come from TikTok, who's like, hey, we do that over there, I'm going to do it over here too. That kind of used to all that aggressiveness. But
what about this? Because we're talking about like fish in 2025. Does this turn into more people like when they disagree with a fish care video that they're going to direct? Because now people, when they disagree, they'll say, some channels say, but they won't say like who they're talking about. But like now are people going to start being like, yo, this guy made this video on how to take care of.
It's already happened. It's already happening. Skeptical has done it. I mean, to a point, you do it. To a point, you're not afraid to say, hey, Aquarium Co-op, or, KG has done it and said his person's name. We'll have live streams and people pretty much dare me to say people's names and I fall for it every damn time. You know what I mean? I don't do videos on it, but people be like, who are you talking about? And I'm like, God dang it.
Right. Okay.
And I'll say it. So I think little people are starting to get, more accustomed to hearing people call out other people's names. I just think, more so than in the past. So yeah, I think it's already happening. It's just slow as hell. It's getting ghetto up in here. It's getting ghetto up in her.
Is that good or bad for the hobby?
I think it's just a sign of the times.
Hmm.
I don't think it's going to have any bearing on the hobby. It's just a sign of the times. People are going to click up. Huh?
It could be good. It could be good, or it could be bad. Like I see people in comment sections. I've been exploring the TikTok side of the hobby, and some of the advice in the comment sections is just horrendous. So the most common one I hear is they keep telling every new person that's just set up it'll be the tank. They just set it up. The water's cloudy, but everyone's mad they got colored gravel. So they say you need to replace that and put in aqua soil. And or you need to replace that and put in organic soil with the sand cap. And you're just like, this gotta be the worst thing you could tell a beginner to do.
Yeah, a beginner
That's
ain't gonna mess that all
failure because now they got to deal with extra nutrients and all this. I don't have an issue with people having colored gravel or plastic plants. To me, that's kind of eliminating some problems if you do that because you don't have to deal with all the extras that go along with it. You go with natural plants for a beginner, they start dying and decomposing in the aquarium. Now your ammonia spiking up and you got all these other issues. It's just you're setting up people for failure.
Yeah.
We actually forgot one big subject that was a talk of the town in 2025.
Scantily dressed women on the thumbnails for reviews.
2 big subjects.
No!
2 big subjects.
Oh, 2. Oh, that wasn't the one. I'm shocked.
Well,
okay.
you know what I'm talking. 2 big subjects.
2 big subjects.
2.
Oh. Okay.
Boom, boom.
Wow.
You know what?
like
It's interesting. I don't see it. Well, there was some of it here. But I do notice that in TikTok, there's a lot of these cute girls that all of a sudden are buying betas because they find a new demographic that they can hopefully find thirsty boys to subscribe to their channel. That is like,
boys.
oh my God, it is you could see that coming a mile away.
No, don't show me the hose, TikTok. Please don't do it. Yo, no, I don't want the baddies.
It is, and they'll put it on there, baddie with fish, or baddie this, or baddie, baddie mama, or baddie fish mama. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I got a different account for that, man. Like, that's fine, bro. That's fine. You just make a different, train your algorithm better. It's fine.
But it's they're trying to get their sub count up. That's
like that phrase, thirsty boys. I don't know why.
Boys.
I think thirsty boys is gonna be a thing in 2026. I ain't gonna lie.
That could be our band name, bro.
Thirsty boys.
Thirsty boys.
The thirsty boy live chat.
Hey, yo, pause.
Why not? He got like 50 Shades of Grey on his thing. Why would it be thirsty boys?
Bro, is it new? Is it in a different way? Like, because the Florina topic, you guys have been like, has that happened with a different channel before? Like,
none of the other channels have blown up like hers, though.
Yeah, hers. It's always been a thing. I mean, it's always been every once in a while you'll see, and the worst part about it is sometimes, like, I still believe I do not see them sexually because I see women dressed like that all the time. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't.
You got a Playboy tattoo. Your bar is higher. You know what I mean? Like, that does make sense to me that it wouldn't be the same. Like, you're like, whatever.
I don't know. That's just the thing. So, but I've seen that come up, but never quite to the point. Especially one channel that has gained so many subscribers in such a short time and affected so many people so strongly as her channel. So it's been the most exacerbated channel that has ever happened since I've been on YouTube.
She's doing everything that the people complaining aren't. Okay, she's got some good fucking thumbnails with something people want to see. The people complain, posted videos with some crusty ass thumbnails. It's terrible. Talk about someone no one cares about. You got to adjust with the times. You know what I mean? Like, if you're mad at Florina, like you got work harder, man, bro. Like you're right. She shouldn't be able to out. You should be able to compete with her. Now again, she's got a broader audience because it's not really just the fish content. So that's
it's thirsty boys, fish people, and thirsty boys.
But she's not the reason you're sitting below 1,000 views. That's on you.
No. Yeah, that's on. Yeah, that's on me.
That's on you.
Yeah. I need to spend my money on somewhere else. Then I guess.
Makeup says, anybody named Peach Aquatics yet?
Now, this is great. This topic here, because Funk, I thought I heard that you were gonna show us all the male equivalents of Florina. I thought you had found like the male equivalent of Florina.
Is there one? I don't think there's one.
So there was this dude. There's this guy, and I forgot who his channel was because he actually was a bodybuilder. He got into fish keeping.
Yeah.
And he actually did a thumbnail and with topless, no shirt, and he had his little V cut muscles, and he was all like this.
Yeah.
In the thumbnail, all oiled up and everything, and I was like, "Where's the outrage?"
But it wasn't like that. If I can get in shape by the summer, I'll do a thumbnail like that. I'll do it right now. It's not gonna.
But yeah, there was no outrage, and I saw another guy. There was another guy, but he was a little bit on the he was fit, but he was also topless in a thumbnail. But he wasn't as
nobody tops Craig. Craig is the ultimate.
Craig, oh God, no! Craig is a sexy beast, though. He's running over there in those little 1970 basketball shorts. You know what I'm saying? Barefoot. Oh God, yes.
Okay. So we got a lot to look forward to in 2026.
Nobody ever says nothing about Craig. How come nobody has a problem with Craig been running around half butterball ass naked?
Enticing
yelling at the dog. Huh?
Because there got to be a bunch of thirsty boys looking at that too.
Yeah, thirsty boys over there looking at Craig. And it's not even the dog making that noise, it's him.
Okay, I will say legitimately, like, I think it goes to show how much some men don't understand women, because I still feel like you're undervaluing yourself. Like, they'll be like, a man could never get views like doing next. Bro, you can't. Like, do women actually do like seeing men they find attractive, and they're more likely to click on content like that? Like,
I agree.
Don't undersell yourself, bro. Like, you might have to do it in a different way. It requires you understanding what a woman actually wants to see, and you can do it.
You have to do it in a different genre, because this genre is dominated. The viewers on this genre is majority males. Mm-hmm. Majority males. In fish keeping on YouTube, the majority of the people watching are males. Look at the damn chat right now. Majority males.
Analytics. Just your analytics will tell you that it gives you demographics, and majority of the people who watch my videos are male. Males between what is it, 20 something to 30 something, which is interesting.
Yeah. I think there's some topics and channels I bet is more even, but like also it could be a YouTube thing. Like, I think on TikTok it seems like it's a lot more even.
Probably so.
But
KJ.
Yeah.
I want to see you at your job taking good care of your kids. That's what women want to see.
I mean, Funk, I think if you were making videos about, very cute tanks for your betta fish and something, and it was things that were appealed to maybe a more feminine side of you, I bet you find that video would have more female viewers than usual.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like,
probably.
I think a lot of the content on YouTube, if there is a gender preference in content, which I'm still not 100% sold on.
I'll tell you what
it is.
I think if you did more betta videos, you would probably get more women watching your videos.
But see, I think that women do keep other fish too.
They do. They do.
So I think it's like, for like, how you have to make videos that are gonna appeal to that, like the giant monster tank things and stuff. Maybe that's not it. When you do the community fish type of thing, or maybe it's just the way you film it or the way the thumbnail is or the vibe of the channel. Like all these things, you know, come across it. Like if the fish channel had a dude with like his shirt off and he was like rubbing himself talking about like, I'm not gonna watch that. You know, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But maybe someone else would. So like that's what I think it kind of is too. Like, you know?
I remember that dude. Hey, if you in the chat and you know that guy that I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's 10-gallon tanks.
Huh?
10-gallon tanks is his channel.
Find that thumbnail. 10-gallon. Find that thumbnail.
Right,
it's up there. I'm telling you. It's up there.
Yeah, I know. You called me about it and you were laughing your butt off when you saw that.
I think also I have a different, because I do think, like, for instance, in my Tanks TikTok account, it thinks I'm a woman. Like, I get like,
you're not a woman? All this time I thought you were a woman. What are you talking about?
Yo, you know how many views I have if I were a woman right now? Oh, shit, man. Yo, oh, shit. The pipeline to the OF would be in place. It'll be crazy, man. The members only stream about to go wild. It's going to be ASMR for an hour. But seriously, though, like, I think because I interact with certain, like, the isopod stuff, maybe some of the reptile stuff, like, there's a few things that I notice I interact with that I think are more typical, or that to maybe things women are into to the hobby. You know what I mean? And I think that's part of why, like, especially the isopods and some of like the I forget the sciencey word for it, but I get like a lot of female scientists TikToks.
I could etymology.
Yeah,
I could probably see that. Women are into weird stuff. Like there was this one the first LFS I ever worked at, there was this one very, very, very hot chick, and she had tattoos of cockroaches on her neck. She was into Madagascar hissing cockroach, and she had like she was very pretty, and then cockroaches tattooed on her neck. I was like, you just messed it all up.
But that's exactly that sounds right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, no better. Isopods are pets. Come on, man. Come on.
There we go. Funk's favorite thumbnail of the year. Let's go. There it is. I can't make it big because it's a thumbnail. It'll automatically go to the video.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
I can't see. Oh, there it is down at the bottom left.
I do think that this is probably attracting more thirsty boys than anything, honestly.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I don't know. I think it's the wrong genre. I don't know.
He said my 10-gallon tanks bring all the boys to the yard. This is crazy.
Well, I think the real thing, Funk had an issue with the fact that he says that it was paying for his car payment, his videos, or his sales or something like that.
Because he only had like 10-gallon tanks. And I'm like, really?
You could pay. You could do that with 10-gallon tanks. Come on.
Guppies? 10-gallon tanks of guppies? Come on.
It was $500 in a month?
Yeah.
What?
That's what he said. He was thinking about $500 a month.
I hate to tell you, like, I've done that with the 2.5 gallon, so just one. So I feel like it's possible.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it happens all the time, but like it did happen once.
What kind of videos is Ben watching?
I've seen people who sold fish. You would have to do that consistently with no time where nobody bought anything, and we all know that doesn't happen. There's always down times where it just doesn't happen.
Amen, baby.
Yeah.
But at least at the time that he made this channel, it was happening. But who knows? Maybe the next 3 months it was zero, like you said. You know what I mean? He didn't say
I was optimistic.
Paid it for the entire year.
I was optimistic about that account. I remember I talked about it in one of the plugs, but I think he's also kind of fallen into the trap of unrealistic subscribers.
Yeah.
Because it just the information does not correlate one with the other.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think was the most popular fish? Top 3 most popular fish of 2025?
I guess it depends on which group you talk to.
Aquascaping.
No, but the fish, fuck the fish.
The fish genre in 2025 is probably aquascaping.
Okay.
But an actual fish, what's the little freaking fish that everybody's wanting now that you look down on? You have to look down on now. Madakas. Yeah, those. I think that kind of whether they was the most popular as everybody has them, no. Talked about, yes. You know,
I kind of agree with Stan. I think CPDs were real popular at the beginning of the year, and then
Really?
Madaka's really, yeah. Nanofish in general, like Craig said.
I think Madakas were popular, but I don't think it went well. Like I think that people have been getting them, but I don't think it's been. I don't think everyone's had success with them. I don't think a lot of them aren't good from the side yet. There are ones that are, but a lot of them aren't. So I think
Well,
that
they're
they
not
have
meant
a
to
lot
be
of
looked from
hype.
the side though. They're meant to be looked from the top as like you would a koi fish. Like, the only reason I think why they would become popular is because not everybody can build a 2,000-gallon pond in the backyard to be able to keep koi.
Yeah.
And I think Madaka rice fish are like the cheap alternative to be able to do it in a planter, in a pot, a flower pot, and get the same effect.
So the shop that I'm at, we got blue and white platinum or whatever, and blue and some black Madaka rice fish. It's the first time I saw Madaka rice fish with my own two peepers. And the first thing I did was stare at them looking down. And I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I imagine the black ones, okay, whatever. So I was like really paying attention to the white and the blue ones. And I was like, I just don't see it. I don't see the allure. I didn't.
Jorge, you had there was someone on your stream, I think, that was like really knowledgeable about rice fish, and even he was saying like, yeah, they don't do as well inside. Like you should keep them outside. Like, so I think like with ponds and stuff, they're popular, but depending on where you are, like I've heard of stores not being able to sell them as much as maybe they thought that they'd be able to, you know, from inside the store. But because a lot of them don't keep them in a pond where you see them from above, they keep them in the tanks like all the other fish. But I think it's probably part of the problem.
Yeah, no, I guess there's it's like everything else. Just so the reality is there's so many fish out there, and I think what you're gonna find is popular is what's on your algorithm. And the reason I say this is because, and you and I have talked about this a lot, Funk. I used to swear by the fact that I thought African cichlids were done.
Yeah, no.
But like Funk pointed out, you go to the vendors that specialize in selling African cichlids, they're always out of fish.
They sell out.
They're always sold out. And maybe it's just because I don't go searching for those channels that I don't get them across my feed. I'm sure that somebody that's really into African cichlids would probably tell me right now, no, those were the popping fish for 2025.
They're a very underground fish. A lot of people just don't make videos about them on YouTube. Not as many people brag about their African cichlids as other fish do. I know like every LFS I've ever worked at, we've had tanks of male, $50 a pop, and they get sold out in a week. Male peacocks. They don't even, and a lot of them are mixed breed hybrids. They're not even specific breeds. And they just keep flying every week. We get more and people buy them every week. Most of the time it's $50 for one. If you buy three, they're like $40 each. They'll have like a special and stuff. And people buy them three at a time because you put Africans in a tank, you got to put them in at three at a time. So, yeah, they're a fish that nobody ever really talks about, but they are way more popular than people make videos on YouTube. So
I mean, for sure, like shell dwellers, I've noticed a lot more of the different shell dweller species in stores around me, and them not lasting that long. I remember at the beginning of the year, I think it was like Prime Time, who said like, don't breed shell dwellers or something. But you could see, he's like, the stores can't sell them at this price anymore. They've been selling the multis, the gold frog like ones, like the more rare ones. Like I think that shell dwellers had a good year, at least in my area and what I'm seeing online, at least.
There are certain shell dwellers that do well. Multis, the ocellatus. There's another one, the gold ocellatus that you was talking about. There's another one. I can't remember the name. It looks like a Maltese, but it's not a Maltese. It's something else. It has like more stripes or less stripes. I can't remember. And there's another one. Anyway, there's like four that do really well. But yeah, that's pretty much as far as shell dwellers go. Those are pretty much it. But they do well. they're a cool fish to have in a small tank. They're very industrious little fish. They're always doing stuff, just change the tank up. So I think they're cool, because especially someone like me who really interested in behavior. They have very, very distinct behavior. I think that's their biggest, thing. They actually do stuff. They manipulate their surroundings, So I think that's their allure,
He's talking about like the different media are on influencing what you think the biggest fish is. Like now I'm convinced that if it wasn't the biggest fish this year, next year it's just good old beta fish. I mean, I'm just amazed. So many people
they've never really phased out. I think what it is, I think the problem is in YouTube will go to threads of the types of videos that people are making because they see other people getting views. I don't necessarily, and that's where I need to stand corrected, because I made the assumption that fish would go to these trends. It's not that people stop keeping them. I think it's just the videos you're seeing that people are putting out that changes, because bettas is another fish that will always sell. It doesn't matter where it is. Beginners or intermediate or experienced fish keepers are always buying bettas. And goldfish is another one. I mean, there's a lot of people that buy the fancy, expensive $800 goldfishes. It's just because I don't consume that type of content. Maybe that's why I don't know. But look at Luke's goldfish. The guy is always he's been growing and growing and growing, and his breeding facility has been getting bigger and bigger. So there's obviously people out there buying them.
He still can do it, man. What convinced it for me is, one, going like, oh, the price on bettas has been rising. Like bettas are more expensive.
I see it dropping, to be honest. I think it hit a peak where you were buying, like $40 bettas. Now I'm starting to notice where the pricing is starting to come back down. Perfect example.
For all of them, or for just certain ones?
I guess for certain ones, I guess. But the reason I look at this is because I know when the fancier, like the Samurais, the Nemos, the Hellboys started hitting PetSmart, they were and they were still very cheap there at $20, and they kept selling them at that price. Right before Christmas, I saw them drop all the fish, all their high end, their premium label one, to $15. So that was like a $5 drop in the price of their premium fish, and so I don't know if people are going to be able to make as much money as they were on bettas, but they're going to sell. Doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to go crazy because, like, one of the things is that TikTok lets you do is, if someone never makes a video about a fish ever, and their channel's about everything else, but one day they happen to post a video of the betta fish that they've had the whole time, unbeknownst to us all, that shows up under my feed. So I've seen betta videos, and I click on the person's thing, and it's not a fish channel. Their stuff has nothing to do with fish. It's just a random person, and usually these are the people getting yelled at that they have terrible care requirements, because it's just someone that they have a betta fish in a bowl that they enjoy, and a lot of these people still exist. And I think it's a growing thing. You know what I mean? I think it just keeps growing, and I don't see why it would go down. Like, it's something that fits in a small space. It looks good. It's like a perfect fish for social media. Yeah. You can make such a big impression in that vertical, picture in a short period of time. And then you saw the white elephant gift trend that happened this year.
What?
No, I missed that one.
So this year,
wait, before you do that, hey, into the future, if you go to my channel on my playlist, I got a video on betas and a playlist on betas. I did one on dragon betas. That's the beta you have probably, and it'll explain why your beta is blind. But yeah, sorry, I just had to say that.
Yeah. No, I was saying this year there was a big trend. And if you go everywhere on social media and search it, you'll find tons and tons of posts. Like the betta fish subreddit is full of it, but people were giving betta fish as white elephant gifts this year. Like in very large numbers. Like at first I was like, this is like a small thing. Bro, a lot of people got a betta fish as a white elephant gift.
What's a white elephant gift?
It's a gift exchange where you don't know what you're giving away. It's they select numbers from a bag, and if your number gets called, you go to a pile of gifts, and you retrieve a gift, and then you open it, but you don't know what's in it. It's a surprise. But everybody that's participating brings a gift, and then the way it varies in how it works. But like you can have, if somebody else decides they pull that number, they like the gift that you have, they can take it from you, and but it only has like a limited amount of times they could switch hands. That's the general gist of a white owl.
I seen that game before. That would piss me off if I had something I want. Somebody just takes it out of my hand. Be like, you punk ass motherfucker.
Yep. I saw them in a Tito's bottle, so they wrap it so it's a bottle shape. You think the present's a bottle, then they opened it, and it's a betta in the bottle. Like some people did get like tiny critter keeper kits. Like I saw one chick put it after she got it, she put it in a glass purse and took it to the bar with her. She was like, "Oh, I got my white elephant gift." Like, so that's like another reason. It's like that's one thing, but like I think 2026, there's gonna be more betta fish owners next year than this year by a significant amount. That's what I think.
I hope so.
Well, also this is so I don't know about the price raising thing or whatever, but it's undeniable that stores are spending more money on betta fish as far as the setups. Like the cups are slowly getting, and even if they do have cups, like maybe it's a little bit different, a little bit nicer display.
I definitely think they're starting to kind of get the hint about those cups. They're getting away from the cups, which is great. I mean, that's just power of people keep talking. But I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that they're doing that. But no, beta's always going to be a thing. They're never going to go away. I'm curious. I think as far as betas go, I'm kind of banking. Well, not only am I banking, but I'm also kind of like I'm more invested in more smaller fin, like placots and stuff like that. Betas, I think those are getting to be way more popular than the long fin variety. The Splendids and stuff like that.
People want them to be healthier. Let's get some embellis, some acanensis. You know what I mean? Let's get some wild types that still look like the domestics, or like you said, shorter finned ones. Yeah,
that's my personal. I keep mine in a 2.5 gallon. What?
27 of them. That's Jesse.
There you go. There you go.
So this is interesting, like, because I see people fighting about this a lot now on TikTok. Betta sororities, funk. Does this continue into 2026? Have people learned their lesson?
Unfortunately, I think it does.
I think the idea is here's and I'm telling you this because the LFS that whatever, I am actively trying to teach the employees there on sorority tanks. Female betas have a mean streak, and if you're gonna do it, you better have a bigger tank than you think, and it better be heavily planted. Don't think you're gonna have a 10-gallon tank with like a couple of plants and 5 or 6 female betas in there, because they're gonna kill each other. So I think the videos that you see on YouTube, I think the information on sorority beta tanks is gonna get better. It's gonna get better. And I think that's gonna be, because I don't know anybody now who disagrees with what I say.
Right.
I don't know anybody who does. So, and the people who don't know, I think the information that they're getting is information from people like us who'll be like, yeah, you can do it, but you got to keep in mind, this is the way you got to do it. You know what I mean? So
I saw one person say to treat them like African cichlid tanks, where it's like a big tank with a lot of them.
I don't know. Me personally, I found that the plants is the big game changer. Having them not be, kill the line of sight. The number, I can't say. I'll be honest with you. I can't say as to the number, but I can say to the plant issue. The breaking the line of sight is a big game changer. As far as diffusing the aggression with high amounts, I cannot say. I cannot say. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, you're the. I was asking you the expert, but you were trying to say something over here before.
No.
Okay. I saw Jesse said a 75 is a good size for
Yeah,
sorority.
that's what he was saying.
Do you think that's the minimum?
I don't know. I don't think I would ever have a sorority.
Me either. That's I don't know.
75 for how many?
I don't know.
2.
As many as you can pack in
Two.
there.
I don't know. I wouldn't get. I would put a lot of damn females in a 75. I don't know. And like I said, for me, it's the plants. The plants is the game changer when it comes to sorority tanks. Dude, huh? Go ahead. So the guy who owns the place, he thought he knew better. He put like 20 damn freaking female bedders in a. Even though I told him, he tried to put it in the 5 gallon. I was like, "What are you doing? They're not. You can't. I don't know how many bedders it was. It wasn't 20, but it was more than 10." And I was like, "You can't do that, bro." He's like, "Why?" I was like, "They're female bedders, but they're still gonna. You can't put them in a 5 gallon." So he put them in a 20, and sure enough, they beat the hell out of each other the next day. So
yeah.
See, here's the other thing that people forget to say when they're doing a sorority tank, and this is so true. And I've heard this from betta breeders. You have better luck if they're sisters and they've never been separated. From a clutch that you'll have a higher probability having success.
You'd have to get them from a breeder directly then.
Yeah, well, or
not many people have that opportunity. Yeah,
or if you're breeding bettas, and then
yeah, I guess
that's the problem though. If somebody that wants to build one and doesn't have a direct source, that's going to be an issue. You're not going to be likelihood of getting sister bettas is going to be very difficult.
I can tell you one thing about female bettas that I think is freaking awesome is that I remember female bettas used to be butt ugly.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be butt ugly. Now they look just as good as the males.
Yep.
Just as good as the males. I think that's cool as hell. Makes it hard to figure out which is which though, especially the smaller finned ones, but it makes you have to like really look at their body shape and kind of know what a female body looks like opposed to a male body. But when they're young, it's hard. But I really like that the female betta's colors are just as brilliant as the males. I think that's really cool.
Here's something I'm curious. Do you disagree or agree with this statement? Like in 2025, everything that wasn't fish was what was most popular. Like the aquascaping, the plants. Like you feel that way?
Shrimp. Yeah. I do. That's how come when you asked me to fish, I was like, aquascaping. You know what I mean? Bugs.
Like it's not even like, oh, the fish are ornaments. It's like it's not even about the fish. Like the tank is the thing that's supposed to look nice.
Yeah. Like, hey, I got this tank and it has plants and it's aquascape and it's got bugs and it's got shrimp and it's got this. Oh yeah, and I got some fish too. What kind? I don't know. But it's got this plant, that plant, and this plant. They know every plant. The fish is like, a couple of tetras.
It seems like the fish are always the afterthought.
Yeah.
Just throw some neons in there, man. It's fine.
I will agree with that. 2025 is the rise of the snobby aquascaper.
Yeah, no, there's always been snobby aquascapers.
Yeah, but I think they kind of really really upped their game this year.
Maybe for freshwater, now it's easier to like spend a bunch of money because like I think everything should have a luxury market, but like this year for freshwater we got fancy lights, we got fancy tanks, we got fancy substrate. Like now you can show someone a tank and they'd be like, damn. I can't buy that. You know what I mean? That's an expensive take.
And the only reason why I say snobby aquascaper is because I don't remember ever hearing the law of three or whatever the hell. I never heard that until this year. All of a sudden, there's rules to this. There's laws. There's like, like it has to be like this. Before it used to be cool. Like, oh, look, this looks nice. Now it's like, no, because it doesn't, you know what I mean? Now you have a checklist you have to do.
No,
Yeah,
where is it?
I
This
don't.
one right here.
What?
That's the year of
Baba. Hey man, yo, that's
Who's
why I
this
like.
Baba? Who
So
the hell's
it's
Baba?
this kid. It's
he's
Nick's
yeah,
friend.
Oh, is it that
Uh,
young guy that you was talking? Yeah.
yeah. Because like
Oh,
it's just like I'm able to see like a whole new group. I'm hanging out with more experienced humans most of the
the
time when it comes to
butcher.
the fish stuff.
He's hanging
Yeah,
out with the
oh,
butcher.
yo, that guy is he's so emotional, bro. I can't. With
I
him.
like him. I think he Cliff.
I like
him.
him, but he is very emotional. Like, bro, he just like he gets so mad when people are chatting with him and stuff. Like, were you there with that lady was in there questioning him about beta fish?
No,
Man,
I must have missed
she
that.
got
I
up
know
there.
you guys
She
were
got
all.
up. She got up there. She was like, "Okay, point number one." He's like, "Nah, you're not coming up here with all that." Just like, I was like, "Bro,
is this the Baba guy?
No.
it's
This
one of
is
his
another
friends."
kid.
See, Jorge is deeper into this than me. He knows all the people. Like,
Yeah,
I know all the people.
I asked him. Like, hey, who's this? I hit him up all the time. Like, hey, who's this guy? I just watched the video. Who the hell is that guy? And I'm like, oh, he's nearby. I'm like, oh, okay. Do we like this guy? Yes, no. Okay, we like him. He's cool. All right, cool.
That's kind of what it is.
I was like, that's what I do. Do I hate this guy or not? Let me know. I don't know yet.
I like hanging out with people that are into different things. To be like, I'm gonna set up the CO2 tank. He's gonna show me the way that he lives. We're gonna see what happens. But I do think like even if COVID had a bigger boom with aquascaping, like I think it's hit a normalization in a consistent.
I think more
trajectory.
people dipped their hands into trying to aquascape this year. It's become a little bit more accessible too, though, because if you were trying to do it back in COVID periods, you were spending a tremendous amount of money, and there used to be the lack of information that you could actually go and forage for a lot of the shit you're going to put in the aquascape for free, whereas before it had to be store bought, or else it was forget it. It's one of those things where you're not doing it right if you're not paying $30 for a little rock. You had to pay the game. Now I think more people are willing to go, oh, I like this rock, and pick it up and put it in their aquarium, which is something that I've always done, and that's something that I always encourage people to do. One thing that I did notice is when I first started watching, you couldn't put rocks that were from the wild, to call it anything else. You couldn't pick up leaves. You couldn't pick up branches. None of that. That was all taboo. You were going to kill everything in the tank, which made no sense to me. But it's because that's the strategy that marketing was using to be able to sell you a bunch of trash, lawn trash, and get you to pay more money for it. Once people started getting savvy with the fact that you can go and collect your lawn trash and put it in your aquarium,
all the fish.
more people.
He's an innovator. He's a pioneer.
I remember Steve would get so mad that people were selling botanicals in bags. He get livid over that. It's like, why are people paying for backyard garbage? but yeah, I think a lot of that information, people are getting more informed and going, wait, it only makes sense. It's in nature. As long as you're not in a middle of the city where they're using all sorts of fertilizers and pesticides, chances are you're going to be okay. They're not spraying the swamps. They're not spraying the forest, But
I think it's even if people were doing it before collecting stuff, now it's not like you bring it up and people are like, oh, like now people are like, oh, that's cool. Wait, you found that rock? Like you went in, that, like it's more of a positive. Like I know Flashing Boulders. He's local, but I interact with him on like online and stuff, and he collects some really cool rocks, man. He collected this like
his name is Flashing Boulders.
I think Flashing Boulders.
Oh, maybe. Flashing Boulders.
And he like goes outside a lot and finds super cool rocks, that he uses for his aquascapes, and I think that's dope.
I think the only rock I would ever buy, honestly, would be like elephant skin rock, that elephant stone. I think it's cool, but I can't. That's something that I don't know where the hell it's from, but it's not something that I've ever seen in the United States.
Yeah.
That elephant stone. I'm not into dragon stone or nothing like that, but I think the elephant stone stuff, it looks cool, But I mean, I can't. I don't know if I could bring myself to. I don't know. Pay for rocks. That's just crazy to me.
Hey Nick, are you sure it's called Flashing Boulders? I think that's your Thirsty Boy channel that you go watch. It's nothing but dudes without shirts that are rock
Oh,
climbing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah,
You
that's
type in
what it is.
flashing. Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh,
Whoa,
thirsty
whoa,
boy.
whoa, 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 whoa! Hold up.
What
man.
the hell,
Hold
Nick?
up.
Did you
Flag on the
confuse your
play.
channel?
I don't
Craig,
think
you paid
I don't think I
$250
get.
for a rock.
I don't think I
Look at
gave
this.
you the name where you're gonna be able to find it.
Look, Flashing Boulders, and this is all you get is guys that are shirtless.
Okay, but the
Retro
account,
climbing on rocks.
the account name is not Flashy Boulders or anything. Okay, calm down.
Look at that. Bunch of dudes without
Hey, yo.
shirts.
Hey yo,
This
Come on,
is
man.
look, even a guy
Hey.
flashing. Look at that.
no, I'm
What
not a
the
thirsty
hell,
boy
Nick?
no more, man. I'm not.
This is your
Thirsty
Thirsty Boy
no more.
channel?
No. I'm 4 years clean, man. I'm 4 years
I'm
clean.
4
no more.
years
Hey yo, hey yo.
Oh,
Oh, no, wait.
you gave us the wrong account name.
Yo, I got a bold prediction for 2026.
Don't change the subject. Wha-
Come on.
You're not that
That
slick.
was perfect. Come on.
Flash them boulders. That's what KJ wants to see.
Holy. Hey yo. Don't ask me anything when the Patreon goes up. Just subscribe. Holy.
So, what's your
All right.
prediction for
What's your
2026?
prediction?
My prediction for 2026. This is slightly different than what we talked about so far, but I think 2026 is the year of fish keeping communities, events, clubs. I think there's a lot of people trying to get together and talk about fish in real life. Concerts are up, all in-person events are up. People want to go out and do things together. I think it's going to continue with fish keeping. I think we're all going to have a lot more fun stuff to do with other people, digital or in person. But I think in person it'll be a good year for it.
I would have to take your word for that.
I think with the success that some of the bigger events have been having, it's encouraging, especially for the hard to get to places. Like if you live like in my neck of the woods, I could easily see like one of the metro areas closest to me, which would probably be like Phoenix, trying to do an event. There's something they've been talking about doing for quite some time. And I think seeing the success that when they have clubs come together and put these events on, they seem to do very well. So yeah, maybe that'll be fun. That'll be fun to be able to have more outdoor events that you could attend.
Yeah.
I would have to take your word for that because I'll go to a lot of events. If I did go to events, I would want to go to something less commercial. Aquashella doesn't. I'm for real. It's. I mean, I know you've never been to one, Mexicali, so I could definitely see you wanting to go. But the whole thing of paying money to get into a place where it's basically a outdoor market just doesn't appeal to me. But people gathering, like the things that these cats be doing up there in Wisconsin. Where they have, like Jeff Kane and Foxy and Hagen Hill. That sounds cool as hell to me. You know what I mean? It's a smaller type of deal, a little bit more personal. That sounds cool to me. That's something that I'd like to do. But they have a tighter knit community over there, probably because it's not as a big deal. Here in Florida, fish keeping is kind of a dime a dozen. Nobody really cares about it.
Events almost every weekend because of all the clubs and stuff that you.
But
guys
it's a lot of stuff. Yeah, they do, and it's all about buy. I got a problem with all the buy stuff.
That's why I didn't go to Aquashella, because I was like, I'm gonna go to the Keystone Clash, and I think that's gonna be more.
I do want to go to the Clash.
I think the appeal, like with the Keystone Clash and what Roxy does, is not so much because of the fish or the selling events. I think that's the excuse to gather a lot of us in this community to come together. I think that's what the appeal really is, and it's more of an excuse to come together and hang out, and that's kind of what I find appealing. Yeah. And I think I can take that away from everybody's response to that. And I've talked about this in the past that I always notice, um, and even to a point, Aquashella used to do that when they were allowing a lot more of the content creators. Well, the one that you got to go where you hung out with Drew and Ricky and all of those type of events. It wasn't. It was kind of like the excuse to get together, but it was more of the getting to interact with everybody else
Yeah.
that you've been following or interacting with.
100%. I had way more fun hanging out outside of the event or hanging in a little group at the event than I didn't go to a talk. I didn't participate in any raffles. I didn't do none of that stuff. In fact, Biz kept getting mad because I can't just look. I can walk around one time, see everything. I'm done. If I'm not buying stuff, and I'm not the type of person who it takes me a long time to buy something. I see something I like, I buy it, I'm out. I don't have to walk around and see every single thing that make my decision. Biz was like he'd turn around, I'd be gone. I'd be gone. Where you at? I'm at the hotel. I'll be back later. I couldn't just stand there just like, I couldn't do that. It just bores the hell out of me, I feel like everybody's looking at me, like everybody's at their vending table, like, come buy something from me, please. Like you walk past them, you can see them, buy something from me. Buy. Like I feel like a piece of meat. Like everybody's just oogling me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think for me, just this year, I got a lot of enrichment out of being in fish-related communities. And like I feel like I've seen a lot of people that didn't have in-person things like that near them, wish they did, but also get a lot out of the online stuff. But even when I go on, something that's interesting, again, when now I'm exploring TikTok, is people are so desperate to talk about their tanks. The video will be like nothing related to anything. It's just like a fish. People are posting the photos of their tanks for no reason under these videos because they don't have anyone to show their tanks off to. And it's like a culture thing there where you just comment your tank under whatever video and people were like, oh, I like your tank. Oh, blah, blah, talk about it. Like, I think it's something I don't know why it is that way that people in the fish tanks have no one to talk about fish tanks in their life. But I think those people are going to slowly start to find places where they can do that because they clearly want to,
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's funny, the piece of meat thing, go ahead, Jorge, but I just thought it was funny because I relate to that.
No. I was going to say, how much influence do you think that some of the bigger content creators on here on YouTube have at affecting upcoming trends? And the reason I say that, because I've heard Corey talk 2 or 3 times exactly about trying to do like online clubs and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, well, they were the first ones to have an online club where they do bring speakers in, but you got to be a member to be able to watch those videos, which I find that very interesting and fascinating because they found a workaround. Instead of having to fly in guests and pay for all that money to host somebody, they've been able to have video presentations. And I honestly, that's the only reason why I still continue to pay for the membership for Aquarium Co-op, is to be able to have access to those speakers and those presentations.
Yeah. I mean, what I found is I think that the focus on speakers is outdated. I think people want to spend time together and talk. And what I've heard is that people want more time to socialize and hang out. And also conversations when you really learn the best kind of tips. Like even with speakers, usually you learn the most when you talk to the speaker after their speech, because it's the things that you don't think of to put in the slide that turn out to be the real gems that are like the light bulb moment in your head. So I think I've seen that events where people have more time to just like, that's why I like swaps, because you can buy things, but also you find most people stand around talking for hours and hours. That they do eventually buy something, but it's like the Keystone Clash, like you said, that's an excuse. People really want to hang out and have conversations about fish keeping and not just listen to how to do something on a very niche topic related to fish keeping. That's nice every now and then, but when that's what the meeting is every time, I think it gets, there's less reason to come. But if you're going to see your best fish friend, I'm going to go hang out with Aaron, I'm going to hang out with John, I'm going to hang out with Bamba, you know, Flash, Grace, all these people that I look forward to seeing, you know, in real life. That's what gets me going to events when the topic is I have no interest in, you know.
So, during COVID, there was, I forget the name of the fish club, but I entered my fish into a online fish competition because there was obviously everything was shut down, so they couldn't do the in-person show. I forget the name of the club. Anyway, they had speakers. They had like the Keystone Clash, but online, and you did have to pay ticket to get to it, but it wasn't that expensive because they didn't have to pay for a venue. It was very cheap ticket to get the link. And it was really cool because you had to take, like, if you wanted to enter your fish into the competition, you had to take a video of your fish, and there was some guidelines as to, okay, it had to be this long. You had to have your fish show the right side of it and the left side of it. You had to have something to show scale, like you had to put a ruler inside the aquarium to show scale. Then you had people who were experts in photography to show that, hey, this has a filter. The judges could tell if it had a filter on it.
You had to submit the raw footage.
Huh?
You had to submit the raw footage.
They could tell if you had a filter. They were like, yeah, you got a filter on that. It was really freaking cool. And they had speakers. They had auctions. They had everything. And it was really, really cool. It was really cool. I entered 2 fish. I didn't win, but I did get to have my fish critiqued and have feedback on it, which I felt was very, at the least, was just very exciting to have, a judge explain to me what was and wasn't. My fish would have placed if it wasn't, the fact that it wasn't big enough. You know what I mean? And that made me feel good. And because it wasn't like you had to take your fish on a plane or in a car and take it, you had a lot more people entering it. And it was like, because there was so many entries, you could see the daily breakdown. Like, this many fish passed the first round and this many fish. It was very exciting is what I'm seeing.
That's cool. Yeah. No, that sounds awesome.
It was really, really exciting watching it progress. Like, who won the second round? Because it took a while to get through all the entries. You'd look the next day, you'd look at the standings. Like, okay, I'm in still. And then you'd fall out. You'd be like, damn, my fish was better than their fish. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's probably some online betting, whatever. But who cares? I just thought it was really cool. Too bad it didn't continue. They talked about it, but
I think that's probably the smartest way to do it, where people are not risking, especially if you got to travel a long distance to get your fish to the contest. I think that's what really stops a lot of people from entering a lot of those contests, because you're going, what kind of situation? Well, that's the whole thing, and you got to understand, these fish are people's pride and joy. They're the one thing that they're so proud of, and I don't know how many times I've heard of people that go to these events and they took their pride and joy and they died. It's like, oh man.
Yeah. In-person fish showing on at least the hobbyist scale, where it's not like $5 billion koi or something, like I think it's pretty bad. I think if they move to an online thing, I think it would be more popular, because like you said, as pets, the only people that are going to go through the trouble to bring that are people that are trying to place so they can sell more of that fish, so they can say
how would it be any different than the aquascaping competitions, where it's a photograph that you're entering?
It wouldn't. I think it would be just like that. But I think that would be more. I think it would be more fun. Like what Funk was saying sounds a lot more fun, to be able to scroll through photos of the entries, and also the animal welfare front. Like a lot of people didn't send in killifish because of the way that the rules were written for the Clash. And guess what? A lot of the killifish were dead in those tanks. Like no one likes seeing dead fish in a competition tank. So you're taking a photo of it. Maybe it's in a special photo box at home, but less chance the fish is going to croak.
So in an aquascaping competition, I would imagine if you were to do that, like let's say you did do that aquascaping competition online, you would want to see them aquascape this thing completely through, not just take a picture of it, because I can send you a picture of anything.
Yeah.
You'd have to see and have
Well,
some way of showing like time stamped so that you know that, hey, this was done at this time. Like
Yeah.
this ain't an old one that you had 3 years ago.
I
This is
think
done now.
I think that's the way they determine, because there's certain information that gets recorded when you submit the picture, like it has a timestamp, it has a date, and it has all
Yeah.
these things in there, and it also, they have people that know. I don't know how to do this, but they can take that information and see if it was manipulated, whether it was, like you said, at filters were added, or it was edited, or the colors were changed. That's one of the things where they can do that. So they could easily do that with fish. That
Yeah.
wouldn't be very far fetched to do
I
that.
think we're giving a couple people in the chat some ideas.
That's fine. That would be great if they could run with it and do it.
I'll
I-
enter.
I'm not going to do all that work. I guarantee you that.
I'll enter a fish. Y'all go ahead and say it. I'll enter my
enter a fish.
female longhorn.
I'm not the only fish I'm taking to a fish show in person. If I take a fish, that I'll be able to sleep at night if it dies. Okay, like if I had the best fish in the world, I'm not taking it to the fish event. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy having the best fish in the world. And Jorge asked if we think the bigger channels can affect trends. I think they can, but like I don't see any of them doing the things that would take for that to happen. I think that some of those people lower down need to learn from the people higher down. Like, look at these color Corys. 2 weeks before they start shipping out, there's a billion viral videos of these beautiful corridors that are one color one side, one color side. They know how to make these fish trend when they want to at that level, like at the wholesaler stuff level. They got the videos lined up before all the Facebook pages. They know they need to have a post in, so everyone wants this fish. They send it out. They're being sold at $80 a piece and selling out. Stores are doing pre-orders. Like, they know how. Look at stuff like that in the fish industry. They know how to make certain things trend, and fish are artificially made to trend regularly, just like products are. Now, some of these big channels could do something like that. Father Fish, again, look, it was a terrible trend. It was some brain dead information, but he made a huge trend. People really did go out and get mud from their local polluted creek and dump it in their fish tank. He made a video, and it changed the hobby for a significant amount of people. So you can do it, but are some of the biggest channels doing the things that would take to make those trends? I don't know. Not on a mass scale where it's echoing out of this bubble on YouTube. I don't know.
When you say trends, manipulate trends, influence trends.
Yeah, influence
I would say
or fish or
well, I mean, Corey does it. He pushes his product. And now everybody seems to think that if your filter is green, it works better than another sponge filter. Well, they did at one point. I don't think people feel that way so much anymore. No, I'm serious. At one point, people thought that if you had a aquarium co-op filter, it was better for some way. I don't know.
That's also a bubble, though. Like most people don't actually know anything about aquarium co-op. Like, they're big to us, but in the grand scheme of things,
they
put out the live bacteria culture for $20 for their bottle. Like, identical product was in Petco 3 months before that. For $7 a bottle. So like, they're trying to compete with people that are way bigger than them. That I think doing the mechanical stuff was probably the worst decision they can make, because after 1 to 2 years, like you said with the sponge filters, the flaws start to show. You know what I mean? So I will say this. As far as marketing and stuff like that, stores, LFSs were beasting to get his product on their shelves, and people were coming in for his product. So, I mean, like me, we all know that the sponge filters, whether you got from Aquarium Co-op or you got from Amazon for $5, it's going to work the same way. You know what I mean? But he trended, he made it a thing where his was better.
And a lot of people actually, feel that way still today. To this day, they still, I still see it's a very popular thing for some people. I don't know. I mean,
I think that.
so yeah.
I think, look, you're not going to make anything trend when you have 1 million subscribers and you're getting 10,000 views on a video. Like, I think they need to step their game up. If they could make things trend, they're very clearly struggling to do that at this current time. I think you're right. Stores wanted to have the products in, but this year they changed the prices 5 billion times without giving the stores updates. Sometimes the stores are finding out prices are changing from its live streams. Haiger's now aggressively marketing the stores. People really like Haiger lights. Stores are bringing in the Haiger stuff and selling them. Aquarium Co-op
we have Haiger stuff at the store I'm at.
And some of the Haiger stuff is nice. Aquarium Co-op just made it so for your store, you can't sell their products online anymore. You can only sell them in person. Before, that was a great add-on. They had Aquarium Co-op products, but for whatever reason, they banned it, which doesn't really make any sense because no one else that wholesale stuff bans people. Like Aquarium Co-op themselves sells Extreme, sells all these other brands on their site. Now, a RPP store, if you have a decent amount of retail sales when it comes to fish or whatnot, you can't sell the magic feed with it. You can't sell that with it. So I think that it's less appealing than it was at the beginning. And the competition has gotten stiffer, Some of these bigger people, like if they did make a trend, we can give them that credit. But now you got Haiger who can make 5,000 billion products with their 3 different shell, companies that they can proliferate through and sell them on Amazon. And I think Haiger is killing it with the in-person stuff because this stuff's affordable and some of it is legitimately good.
And it's good stuff. I mean, it is. It's good for them. I mean, every product line is going to have their flops. Haiger has some flops, but every product line has some flops. But
you like the vacuum, the electric vacuum?
I don't know. I just know I've tried it before on not Haiger's. Like back when I first started my channel, and it was a piece of crap. I've never tried anybody's electric vacuum, because I refused to. And everybody who's ever said they've tried it said every one of them they've ever tried sucked from anybody's. Anyway, so I'm down with I rocks with Haiger, but I'm not gonna do videos for them. Not because I don't like them. It's just not me. It's just not my channel.
Let me ask you something, and it just dawned on me. Like a couple of years ago, there were so many videos on pythons, the water change systems. I don't think I saw a single video this year that dealt with water change systems.
Yeah, that's because people realize
that's what Father Fish said you didn't have to do water change.
I think it's 2 things. I think one, people realize $100 for a python is fucking outrageous. Like they're basically just stabbing you. Like they just got the toothbrush knife, just like, give me your fucking money. Like, give me I could go to the store and get a plastic tube and a pump and I got the same thing. Like Steve is Big Steve, he says his big gripe is people always turn on the faucet to start the siphon, but they don't realize you can turn it off and it's gonna keep going the same way. And it's like, oh wait, so I never really needed the sink in the first place. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so but then the water change thing, that's what I'm scared about for 2026 because people are trying to come up with as many excuses to be lazy. If you are trying to never do water changes, there's a 99.9% chance you're a lazy bastard. That's my opinion. Like if your goal is just to never do water changes, but you still want to have like a decent amount of fish in the tank, I think you're probably just lazy. You know what I mean? And if you say that plus natural ecosystem, there's not a single natural ecosystem that doesn't have regular water changes. Even a puddle on the side of the street has water changes. So you're actually the least natural thing you could do, in my opinion, from my very limited understanding, is to never do a water change. Like, is your fish in the desert? Like, I don't know.
I will agree that I do believe that these people who fall into the, no water change, it's an excuse to, like, not everybody, but I do know people who's like, what? I ain't got to do water changes. Okay, that's the method I'm going with. Not because I believe it's a superior method. It's just because I just don't like doing water changes. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Like Jorge did no water changes, but it just kind of, from what I understand from how he told it, is kind of happened. But he had the tanks for a while. They're kind of established. Like I think he said, like some filters went out and it just worked. But they're not trying to sit there and be like, yeah, I want to mature this.
I don't think he's lazy. I don't think he's doing it because he just don't want to do water changes. He just realized, the mechanics of his tanks. This is what it is. I don't think people are doing that. I think they were like, I'm just gonna go with the no water change shit. I'm gonna believe in this system because it allows me not to do water changes, and that's cool. That's better for me.
If Father Fish and Wallstead had no emphasis on never doing water changes, no one would be talking about it. That's the only reason people talk about it, because we ask people why they want to do it. There's almost no other reason for why you'd want to approach that method, because you can't keep a lot of fish. You can't breed a lot of fish. You can't grow a lot of plants long term. Like there's a lot. It's a very limiting way, realistically, to succeed long term.
So here's the scenario.
Go for it.
Here's the scenario. So I've been my first LFS was in 2000, right? That's the first time I started working at LFS. I've been dealing with people who didn't want to do water changes since 2000. It's been 25 years I've been dealing with people who didn't want to do water changes. Didn't know nothing about no Father Fish method. Now the Father Fish method is like, that's why. Yeah. I've been doing it all along. That's what I knew it. There's a reason. I knew it. I just didn't know what to call it. I've been doing it this whole time. I just didn't know it was called the Father Fish method. So there was it just gave him a justification to be like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah. Good, bad, and ugly. Like I think that's like the bad and the ugly for next year. Like I think this no water change thing, like that's gonna be a goal a lot of people have, and they're not gonna know why that's a goal.
I think the whole no water change thing, I think that's a dying trend.
You think so?
I personally think it's a dying trend. Okay. I do. I personally think it's dying. I don't think you're gonna see. Let's be real. Lou's not making the views he used to make. So, I don't see that being. Now you're never gonna get away with people never.
He did a video where he said he did do water changes and he went around swishing he called it the swoosh, or he even had a name for it, but it never caught on. The Father Fish swoosh.
There's a swoosh method? I want to know about the swoosh method.
He did a video on it.
I think he's taking too many of them vitamin C tablets, but I feel like...
you know what? I've told fuck this. I don't think a lot of these ideas are necessarily Father Fish. I think, unfortunately, since he's got a team that's managing him as a product, they're kind of feeding him ideas, and he's kind of going, all right, well, if you think this is a good idea, I'll do it. Unfortunately, I think that's really where it's at.
I do feel like he's not responsible for everything. I agree with that.
And like I've said many times, I've talked to Lou in person, face to face. I've been to his shop a handful of times when he had his shop in Florida. Father Fish in person is different than Father Fish on the phone is different than Father Fish on YouTube. He's not as rigid in person as he is on YouTube. I give you a perfect example. When I did my real first dirted tank, I called him up, and one of the things I was like, bro, I can't do the no filter thing. So he's like, well, I guess, okay. Well, if you're going to do the filter, then do this, that, and other. He didn't give me no pushback. He didn't do like, you're going to kill your fish with your filter, and da-da-da-da-da. He didn't give me none of that. He was like, okay. Well, if you're going to do it that way, then you this, that, and the other. It was that simple. It was that easy. Yeah. Now, we all know that if he's on a live stream and, somebody says, well, I got a filter in my tank, he's going to be different, So I don't know. It's weird hearing people talk about him because I've experienced. I know the real deal, and I kind of am like on. Yeah, there's something that don't match up. So if it's somebody's, then I guess so. I don't know.
You see some of the shit that he puts out, and it's got to be. Somebody thought that would be a good idea. I don't really think it's Lou necessarily doing all of that. And I
He's a really
don't
good
even know him as good as you do because you actually
He's a good
have
guy. He's a good guy.
you had a lot more conversations with him. But even outside looking in, I can see,
Lou's
yeah,
a good guy.
he's got a team behind him that is probably thinking, oh, you should do this because I think this is going to be good.
And and I have seen some of his live streams and videos where I was like, oh no. You know what I mean? I was like, oh no, but I don't know, that's the route he's going. I can't fault him. It's his channel, his route.
I mean, how many people know that Wallstead updated her method to recommend a filter?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
It's like one of those things. It's like one of those things, man. Like long term, you realize maybe. But the reason why I disagree why it's a dying trend is not all of it, because I think it is ornamental, but a lot of people's motivation for plants is to make it so they have to do less water changes. Now, I think that's legitimate because I think that's the reason that I have a lot of plants, the nutrient export of it all. But, we've seen what some people's definition of a highly planted tank is. That's where I think there's going to be issues. So it's going to be, okay, I want to do less water changes, so I'm going to get a plant, and then you're going to see a tank with like maybe a sword, and then like an Anubias and like one stem dying in the middle of the tank, and that's going to be what's going to soak up all the nutrients.
And that brings up a funny subject. I've talked with Jackie from Project Piaba, and we was talking about fish and planted tanks and all that. And I was like, Jackie, the fish that you show, the underwater footage, that water's barren. It's brown and barren. There's nothing green. It might be like one, and all these people with these Amazonian tanks who have a lot of plants in it. And she's like, yeah, a lot of those pictures where you see a lot of plants is where it floods. Where it floods for a short time of the year. Those are terrestrial plants that just happen to get flooded over, and now you see this very green water, but most of the time it's brown and barren. I had this discussion with somebody. I was like, yeah, angelfish don't really live in like heavily. Oh yeah, you gotta have a heavily planted tank for angelfish. I was like, they don't really live in that, most of their lives. But I don't know. But yeah, but put a lot of plants in there. You don't have to do your water. You don't have to clean your water. You don't have to change your water. It's a filter.
Beto was such a instigator. He said, okay, Father Fish, Wallstead, but there's also LRB. He's like trying to name every single one.
I can't. I've never understood LRB's anything. Not that I don't like them. I don't know them. I don't know. It's just, I've never, his that cup top thing that always threw me off. I was like, I don't understand that. I don't get it. You gotta mix.
Yeah, the deli cups that he would put under the sponge filter so it wouldn't splatter on the outside. It was like a diffuser that he made with deli cups. Not deli cups, but the deli cup lids.
The plastic, the white plastic lids. He would put it in. I don't know. I didn't get it.
It worked as a diffusers. You know how when you get the bubbles at the surface of the water, they burst and they splatter. Yeah. Well, that was his fix for that, because he would put it right at the surface, and now the bubbles would burst, but you wouldn't get the splatter outside the aquarium.
Oh, I thought it was for their health. I thought it was help them oxygenate the water or something like that. I was like,
no, it's just a red battery.
Would it be crazy if there was an invention that you could put over the aquarium that would just
called the lid?
I do like him. I like that he sells hair algae on his site. I like that. He calls it Nature Spawning Mop. I think that's cute.
No way. He sells hair algae?
Yeah, of course. You got to, man.
Hey, if people buy it, they buy farts in a jar.
I know, problem with it. I think that
people buy farts in a jar.
I'm not bringing that up to be hated. I'm being serious. I get that. That's his vibe. That's his vibe. I've only seen one tour of his place. I do think when he was talking about his living water or something, I was like, okay, well,
living water.
I don't need to beat this guy to know he loves to smoke. So say whatever, man. Okay, like say whatever, man. Yeah, man. The water's alive. He's like, that's why I don't gotta do water changes because most people they got dead water. My water's alive. I was like, okay, well. Yeah. To each their own on that one. But he seems like he's more into plants anyway, so that's why I never really like. It seems like he got a ton of plants, and that's the focus.
I guess he also breeds a lot of shit too, though.
Yeah, he likes to breed a lot of stuff. He breeds a lot of stuff.
From what is available on the site most of the time, there wasn't a ton of fish when I last looked. So I was like, oh, okay.
You'll be surprised. He sells out real quick. As soon as he puts it up, it's gone. He sells out real quick, but that's because he doesn't import any stuff. And the stuff that he's selling is stuff that he's actually breeding in the fish room.
Yeah, I mean that sounds nice to me.
I mean, it's allow him to buy a nicer home in Florida and do more stuff. I don't know. I don't think I've ever gotten the vibe where he's kind of bullshitting me. So I kind of
I talked to him at one of the Aquashellas. He's a cool cat. He's a cool cat.
Seems all right. Well,
oddly enough, I was expecting when I was talking to him to hear the same voice as on the videos, and it wasn't that at all.
Oh no,
it wasn't weird. No, it wasn't. I was expecting him. Huh?
He was like more like what? Like energetic, or it was different?
Normal. Yeah, a little bit more peppy.
Yeah.
But
he didn't sit in the car long enough before meeting you.
But it was very like I was expecting to hear his voice come out like like that, and it wasn't. It was like talking like anybody else, and I was like, oh, okay.
You didn't want to cross state lines with it. I don't know. But
no, but he was a really cool cat, though. A really cool cat.
He does seem cool. But I was asking this question the other day. I'm curious what you guys think. I was like, who was the best online retailer of this year, like selling fish and other stuff? Like, who was the top? Like next year, or could things switch up? You see anyone? Because I thought my thing for 2025 was like, I guess I got to give it to Wet Spot. Like overall, I feel like
I was going to say that's the name that I always hear people mention is the Wet Spot. But I think I don't know. That and Imperial Tropicals are probably the two top ones that I hear mentioned. I don't buy fish though.
Yeah, that's true. You don't.
I get all my fish from Consolidated pretty much. So
you're in Florida, so it's like cheating, man.
Yeah.
I am spoiled when it comes to fish. Like I have no idea. Like I'm kind of out of touch when it comes to that. I have no idea. Like I have to ask Dan and Tropical Fish Company and all these places. I've gotten my fish from Imperial. They literally I can drive to Imperial in 15 minutes.
Wow. Do they have a storefront?
No, but you can go. So this is the only bad thing about Imperial if you live here. So you have to order online, right? And then you have to put it in notes. I will pick up, and then pickup is on a very specific. Is like, you have to go before 5 o'clock on a certain day. Like they'll tell you your order will be ready to pick up like in 2 to 3 days from when you actually pay for it. But you have to be there before 5 o'clock. So if you're working, and they don't do it on Saturday and Sunday, unless you're adamant, like, bro, I can't make it during the week, and then you have to be really adamant about Sunday, and then it's kind of like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Now, I've heard they've occasionally opened up to let people walk through, but I've never really seen that to be true, to let people walk through and buy shit. Right. I know I've seen that place. I wouldn't want people just walking around random. You have to have people following you around, and they're not retailers. They're just people there taking care of fish. They're not there, they're not there with bags and rubber bands and cash registers. They're not set up for that. So
I think that they could be one to they seem set up to really take over and be super competitive. Just the way they're set up, they seem to have a lot of investment in them. Like the video with the facility was really impressive, and the amount of fish they breed themselves is pretty wild. And they do the constant sales. Like they're just doing a lot of stuff.
There you go, Funk. You're always looking for somebody to do stuff with in your area.
Bob Bravo.
Yep. That's one of your people, right? Nick?
Yeah, Bobby in the chat. He be in the chat, man. Always.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hey, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So you're in Lakeland too, Bob? Driving distance and 15 minutes different. I will say this about Imperial. I did kind of jokingly accuse Mike because there's this such thing, and they do have great fish. I ain't gonna lie to you. So there's this thing, hormones. African cichlids, if you buy them from Asia, they're hormoned, right? Which they're incredibly bright colored at a small age because in Asia you can put hormones in them. So when you get the males, even the females, they'll be super, super bright. But because those hormones are illegal in the United States, after about 3 months, those hormones go away and they start looking like normal fish. And the last time I was up there, I was talking to Mike and I was like, bro, are you messing around hormoning these fish? Playing around. I know he didn't. I know he breeds them, but he has incredibly brightly colored African cichlids. I was like, bro, like these look just as good as the fish that are hormoned from Asia. So yeah, they're bombing. He does a good job. They do a good job.
That's the only thing. Like they're literally doing so much stuff that I think a store like them should be doing, but they have a very specific stocking at this moment. Like it is like you could tell they got the African cichlid stuff like on lock, like and really nice too, like you said. But wet spot, I feel like you got to, but it's kind of like cheating since they got cichlid exchange on the other side. So it's kind of like they're a wholesaler with the retail. But that's why if Aquahuda could fix their reputation, they could have a better 2026 too, because they're also an online retailer that's a wholesaler.
They're the wholesaler for ballers on a budget.
Yeah. I can't imagine what those wholesale prices are like if that's what the retail prices are like. Like that's pretty wild. But I don't know. I think that. I don't know.
I think their retail prices are because. So the only way from knowing how wholesale works, working in wholesale, I think the only way they could get away with doing that is by those fish not even touching their tanks. Like literally, they get a truck in with like thousands of neons and be like, oh, Nick wants 10 neons. Get that box that just came in, pull 10 out of that bag, put it in this bag, send it. It doesn't touch their tanks. They don't feed it. They don't quarantine it. They don't do none of that. That's the only way I could assume that they could get those prices that low. Because they don't actually spend money housing the fish. They don't have an employee that they have to pay housing the fish. It literally goes from one bag to Nick's bag and sent to Nick.
Well, I'm waiting for one of these people to open up a damn, retail location because now I'm trying to learn more about the supply chain. I'm like, oh, okay, so Dan's fish is like, their fish are also partially expensive because where they're at, because they got to pay someone to rebag the fish and ship it to them a second time after it comes in on the coast. So I'm like, yo, where's the coast store that sells online that has a storefront? So all the lists that you can only get if you have a storefront like Cichlid Exchange, that they got some, like, bro, you can't really compete with just Cichlid Exchange, but bro, they bring in nice fish. Like if I just can't imagine if you don't have Cichlid Exchange, like no wonder it's more expensive. You do this transshipping, you got to find this person here, this person there. Like it's like playing on hard mode if you don't have a storefront. You know what I mean? You got to be, oh, I'm going to buy this under the table from this guy that shouldn't be wholesaling to me. Like, this is the kind of shit that you got to do when you are able to do it directly to the wholesaler that way. So I'm kind of like 2026, whoever can be on a coast, have a storefront, have space for bringing in a lot of fish like a Wet Spot does because they have a storefront and they bring in a lot of fish, but they have a warehouse for fish. Any store on a coast that has a storefront, but also a warehouse to store fish and sells online, I think could make a big impact next year. If you're not one of those things, then you just have to really have a specialty, I think. Like Tropical Fish Co., like I think they're going to bring in the rare stuff and the loaches, and be in that niche. And I think they'll do really well.
Yeah,
you have to register to be on Cichlid Exchange?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you got to register. There's an approval process, and I think they're one of the ones that they won't let you buy from them if you don't have a storefront that's open to the public. And
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
there's a couple like that. So if you don't have a storefront that's open to the public, then you're already limited in how you have to operate. And if you add on top of that your location, then that's kind of like you. So that's where breeding. This is a great time to be breeding fish right now, man. This is a great time. All these Dan fishing people, that's why they would love to buy fish from you, because it's very expensive for them to bring in fish compared to a lot of other places. Dan, like, that's why he had the peacock eels on Dan Fish for $100. I went to my LFS, I bought them for 20. Get out of here. Like, my local fish store, they got to compete with my local fish store. You know what I mean?
Jesse's saying that you have to send a picture of your storefront.
Well, how you gonna send a picture of your storefront if you don't got one?
Well, no, but he's saying if you're gonna try to buy with Cichlid Exchange, that's one of the requirements.
Stuff? Yeah.
So do you think this new website is gonna take off?
I think they interview you too, Jesse. I don't know. You know what website?
The website, what's that website that's like used to be Get Gills, but now that there's another website that just popped up?
Aquafinders?
Aquafinders, yeah.
What do you guys think of Aquafinder?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at it.
I haven't been on there in a while.
Yeah. What's it looking like? Are you there?
No, I haven't.
Let me bring it up.
Yeah.
Let me bring it up.
You think that's going to do well in 2026? Because you're over here talking about breeding fish. I tell you what.
What's your definition of well? Like, what do you think is doing well?
Not closed down.
That's a low standard.
Well, not the
like my definition. Well, the site will do well if people make money on it. If the individuals are selling their fish on it and the site is making their percentages off of people's sales, but if people are putting their fish on there, like the individuals like you or whatever, but people are only going to the bigger box stores that decide they want to put their stuff on there. Because I feel like I think that was so for like Get Gills when they had like legitimate stores on there. I felt like that was, I don't know. I felt like that was a crap move for smaller, at home breeders.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a crap move.
I gotta say that I have some personal bias in that I just don't vibe with this site. Like, I went there, it said there's like a sliding scale. Like, it didn't tell me the payment like breakdowns or the rates or whatever. Like, it wanted me to sign in my email first. So I was just kind of like, meh. But also, I think there's a very limited market for this kind of thing. And what's the benefit of it? I think you can make money. You could sell it, the hobbyist bread stuff, whatnot. But like, I mean, for me selling stuff, I would rather just sell something on eBay because there's like a billion people on there already. And I know how to operate within that. Then I think if you do this, you really got to make it strict to breeder only, because if it's also just a bunch of stores on there, then there's nothing really unique about it. And it's just confusing because each fish is listed by a different store. And like, you see how it's like a different person in each little thing. And it's just like, so if I want to buy 20 different fish on the site, does that mean I have 20 different shipping things going on?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Like, 20 different vendors.
Yeah. So like, that's why. Exactly. And like, I think the counter argument would be, well, isn't that what Aquabid is? But like, Aquabid, you're going to look for something specific. You're buying one thing. This looks like something where it's kind of set up where a normal store site, where it's like you're looking through the multiple things. But that's just kind of like my impression of it. I'm not into it really. That's I just don't really feel like Get Gills also had more of like a. Honestly, this feels like someone trying to make money off the site. I'll be honest. Whoever runs this, I know nothing about them, but the site, I just kind of get bad vibes. I get kind of control-y vibes. I get kind of like, if it was focused on a mission that would succeed. Like, I like the way that Vivi was set up. Vivi was really nice. I found my dwarf red Galaris for the first time on there from Freight Cowherd. I got a pair for $30. It was awesome, and it was really focused on like breeders, breeding stuff. And it was like a lot of cool stuff on there. And to me, like the Soccer Finder site, I think they got some work to do for 2026.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I know
know
that one of the things that Funk had pointed out was that he was like, dude, they're letting some of the big online retailers on there. So that was I know one of the things that you had mentioned right off the bat.
Yeah,
it could be nice. It's like an accurate, so you don't have to go to multiple websites. You know what I mean? Like I think that there's a market for it. I don't think it's for me. I think it's a niche. Like for me, everyone's competing with either my favorite online store or my favorite LFS. Unfortunately, I'm in an area of a lot of good LFSs, and there's a lot of good online stores. So there's, the site would have to have exactly the fish I want for it to even really work out to me. Where if you're shopping in with these other places, chances are the selection is going to be better. So I think that's what they got to work on. But then again, maybe bringing businesses on there will help with that, but we'll have to see. If they can get it so you Google a fish and the site's popping up and they get their SEO up, then it could go well, But
do you think YouTube auctions are going to continue in 2026?
Hell yes.
Really?
Hell yes. They're awesome.
Really?
They're awesome. Online, look, in-person auctions, they're fun. They're fucking terrible. I love online auctions. I'm talking about YouTube auctions. Yes, and the YouTube auctions are fun. You see the fish, you bid, you chat with people in there. In an in-person auction, it's kind of hard to talk to people there. It can be loud, it can be chaotic. Bro, YouTube auction, you can chat with all your friends. The hosts are bantering, you can bid, and you're in the comfort of your home, and the fish are shipped to you. It's kind of nice. Like in-person auctions, they're always going to have a unique appeal, but recently I've been kind of wishing there were less auctions more often. Like it does get exhausting. But
that's what I was saying. There was the auction like all the time. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, well, I think the online auctions, more people can attend them. So I think they'll have a more consistent base of people that aren't tired of it, because you don't got to drive however long to get there. You can just kind of watch, or there's entertainment value in watching in the chat on what people are bidding on. I mean, I feel like the YouTube auctions were starting to get some pretty good attendance in some of the ones I saw. Like there's like over 100 people in a couple of those. Like if more breeders start selling some rare stuff in there, and more people keep showing up, and once it's clear it's a good place to make money and also a good place to buy rare fish, then I think it'll grow even more.
I don't know. I seen some of those auctions where fish went for prices that, like, so I get, trying to help out a cause or something like that, but I don't have a lot of money. So when I see a fish on the auction and I'm like, yeah, I could buy that same fish for cheaper, I start questioning. I don't know. That's the cheap guy in me, I guess. I know auctions are supposed to be cheaper, but I don't really see the savings. I don't really see the savings. I see the support in the people in buying it. I don't see the savings. I see where people are supporting their favorite breeder, their favorite person that they, that, oh, I know this person, they're breeding fish, I'm going to support them and buy their fish and all that. But I don't see the savings.
I think club auctions are for savings. The online auctions, I do think probably. Well, also by the fact that more people can participate. Like I think there's more competition.
The prices go up.
Some of us, we bulk at certain prices because we know, oh, I can get this fish for way cheaper than blah, blah. But if it's a more popular thing, there's more people that don't have the luxury of knowing that, hey, I know someone XYZ, I know this auction, this club XYZ, I can get this fish at this price. And they have no problem paying a near retail price in an auction, especially if it's an uncommon fish.
So, Funk, I think it's more about the quality of the fish, especially if you know the breeder it's coming from. See, and that's the thing. I know everybody's name. I know that they've been on YouTube, but I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm a very untrusting person by nature. I like to see the fish myself. Because to me, I'm like. I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I know what you said online. I know, you show me pictures of a fish tank, but is the fish really that healthier? I don't. I
People
know
be flipping fish for sure. So
I've
I
I've bought
get
some
the
pretty
paranoia.
yeah I've bought some pretty healthy fish before at Petco. Healthy as hell. I know they're healthy because I've stared at them for like a while and watched them eat and watched them move and looked at um. So I don't dismiss. I don't know. I
I
just
think it's a combination of healthy plus maybe slightly uncommon. Like it could be a color strain that is bred, or like
I feel you on that. If it's a
for
really
instance,
uncommon something that you just can't get in your area, like maybe Mexicali. I could get where Mexicali's like all about it. You know what I mean? Because he's in the desert. He's in a fish LFS desert. I am not. Like I said, I'm very spoiled out here. And before here, I was in Jersey, which is you get all damn near anything you want. You go to freaking New York and go to the Monster Fish Aquarium, get platinum everything. And so I've always been around a place where I can get a bunch of different cool stuff. I've never been in a LFS desert. Even in Virginia, when I was in Virginia, there was a lot of large LFSs. So I don't know. I've been spoiled. So
I think that like even for something, if you get into shrimp, what I'm realizing, like, yeah, it is nice to buy it from someone who you can see they've had this for a few generations. It is like locked in, because a lot of people do grab like blue shrimp, but it's not from a tank of like a bunch of blue shrimp. It's from a tank where maybe it's a Skittle tank and they get all the blue shrimp that happen to come through, and then you buy these
that's
blue
so
shrimp,
fast.
and
Yeah.
then you get back and it's not breeding true. So like there's some stuff that you look at as being like really common, but if it is someone that really cares about a specific trait being locked in, then buying it from a breeder, that's the only way you're really going to know for sure. And I think for me, I feel you on the pricing thing. Like, some stuff goes for it goes for insane prices. Some stuff I've seen stuff go for insane low prices, but for me, the only reason I can buy stuff at auctions is because I'm usually selling stuff. So when I sell stuff at auctions, I'm usually
just
spending
flip your
most of that
money
money in the auction. So that's the only reason I can go. I like going to auctions and enjoy them, is because usually I go there and I'm not spending any money outside of what I got there. So. But that's because I have to. But usually it's because I have to bring like 30 lots and get pennies on like each lot to build it up to to pay for what I want.
Yeah, I get it. I've never been. Aqua Funk, have you been to Pet Bazaar? I get
geckos and fish there.
Is that place that it's is that place that like right next door to the parking lot there's like another LFS where there's an Asian guy who runs it. It's like Blue Ocean. It's like a really old LFS. I think that's the one I've been to. I've been to that's the one I went to with the first time I went there. I went with Ryan from Wild Fish Tanks Pet Bazaar.
Yeah, he said yes, it is.
Yeah, I've been there. It's an old one. Like it's old. It's old. They got a lot of bugs. You'd love it. A lot of creepy crawlies. They got creepy crawlies everywhere and little cups all over the damn place. You walk in and they're like, "Hey, things coming at you."
That sounds like a store that Bob would like.
You got creepy crawlies all over the damn place, and then it's like one side over here is fish. And then this side is reptiles, but like right up on the counter and like on the entrance is creepy crawlies. Yeah, Bob's laughing because I know I've been there a couple times.
Yo, this is what I want to know. In 2026, do we think that Skeptical Aquatics renews his ChatGPT subscription and revives his channel?
Isn't he Aquarium Authority now?
Yeah.
He not only renews it, he gets the pro package.
Well,
yeah.
I think he's done. He's done going after channels. Now he's been talking about breeding a mono shrimp. That's kind of his thing now.
He's not done. So this is what's so funny. And honestly, I was like conflicted if I wanted to mention him because he's a bum. So like, I really don't want to spend my time talking about bums. But he made this post on his Skeptical Aquatics account, and it was like some like schizophrenia stuff. Like he's extremely mentally unwell. And he is talking about how like Jody P is running this engagement pod and everyone's giving each other fake views and stuff. And he like was trying to ensue personal information.
Hold on, wait.
He said, wait. He started listing like my job history. He had a post to a video of my mom like talking about something on YouTube somewhere. He had a post from my brother who's pretty mentally unwell, who had tweeted like a tweet of himself shirtless. He had that in there. And he hinted at personal stuff of other people. And it was just like extremely weird. And he was like, my team is working around the clock at the best documentary exposing this engagement pod I ever had. And it's kind of been like, it kind of was just so funny. That's why I mentioned it, because I didn't know if you had seen it. So I just wanted to let you know.
When was this?
It was sometime in the last month or so. And if you go in live streams, like he'll like at Jody P in live stream chats, like talking to her about being an engagement pod leader.
What's an engagement pod?
It's like everyone just like liking each other's stuff and comment, basically having friends. Like I don't think he understands the concept.
Well, that's what a live stream. Isn't that what a live stream is?
We're like, an engagement pod because we all support each other.
Yes, he said. Isn't it weird?
Like,
that all the same people are always in the same
Aquaballs, KJ's videos, Steve's. You know, that's that we all kind of like each other.
Because he's used to having videos where nobody likes him.
I don't know.
He's like, hold on, this is weird. Everybody likes each other here. This is odd. This is something wrong here. There's a conspiracy. Everybody's friendly.
Yeah.
Look, you know what the sad part is with that guy? He did a video and it was like one of these, investigative type things, but it wasn't negative. It was just curiosity, answering some questions, and it was good. It was freaking good. And I was like, bro, keep doing that.
Jorge, you should remember in the beginning, I was like pro skeptical. I was like, this is great. I love this. I think I told you. Yeah. But like he just like, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what happened.
He really came hard after Father Fish. And I don't know. I just don't have the energy to do that. To me, it's kind of like, whatever, it's real easy for me. If I don't like what I'm seeing, I just won't watch, period.
Yeah.
Nobody is forcing me to go over there and to sit there and have to watch it. If I don't want to watch it, I don't have to watch it. So yeah, that's where it just kind of got old when it was always the same topic over and over and over. And I was like, okay.
I don't know. I think the guy has a talent. He's missing the mark. Yeah. I think he has a talent and he's just missing the mark with this other stuff. I really enjoyed his more, whatchamacallit stuff. I really wish he would do more stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. And I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about the guy.
It's not too late. He can start making videos on legitimate topics. I mean, he got.
I've been finding his latest videos on the Amano stuff, the Amano shrimp, interesting. I know that's something that people have tried for a long time to breed them. I know you had that lady that you brought on that she's kind of been breeding them for a while. So I wait, that's 2026 right there. It's going to be the popularity of trying to breed Amano shrimp now that more information is coming out there and becoming more available and people are sharing it. I think that's I think that's going to be a very positive trend if it happens.
We're gonna see everyone breeding Amano shrimp. I know multiple people now that like have gotten Amano shrimp transitioned to freshwater in the last few months. So I think we'll see a lot of Amano shrimp breeding. And then they'll try and apply that like to the Stiphodon gobies, the bamboo vampire shrimp, all that kind of stuff, which would be nice because right now those big ass fan shrimp are like $30 a piece. Yeah,
again, a non-fish in the fish genre.
Yeah.
It's not just aquatic genre.
The only thing you need is neon tetras. Then you got to go find the cool stuff.
Do you think keeping live colonies of brine shrimp, is that something that could potentially happen?
I think live cultures in general.
Sea monkeys.
Sea monkeys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know how people are always upset that they can't get a hold of the brine shrimp. I mean the eggs.
Yeah.
Well, if you can set up a colony that's just constantly producing them, why do you need to get eggs anymore? I
Oh,
mean,
I
they're
thought
gonna
you meant like as like their display
no, no, no,
tank.
no, no,
And
no.
it's
I'm talking about it
shrimp
becoming
plants.
a legitimate live food source, a culture.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like that's their. Look at I got a brine shrimp tank.
Well,
No, no,
there's
no, no.
a
I got an
there's a
angelfish tank, and I
Brine
got
shrimp.
CPDs and brine shrimp tank right there. That's and a saltwater tank.
I think
Cool.
live foods in general in 2026 will be bigger. Stores have told me like before they'd have vinegar eel and microworm cultures. No one buy them. Now people are asking for them. There's a global shortage when it comes to brine shrimp eggs like that. That's something that's very weatherly threatened. So there's a lot more Daphnia and Moina, and it's like science just discovered fairy shrimp, which is like a similar thing to brine shrimp but freshwater. So I think all of that, yeah, will be huge.
Did you say they just discovered fairy shrimp?
It's not like they just discovered existed, but because brine shrimp just worked, there's like no reason to look for alternatives. But now that the supply is an issue,
Oh, okay.
like,
They're looking towards that.
yeah,
They're
they're like, oh wait, it turns out like Daphnia and Moina and some of these other copepods are like better nutritionally than Artemia anyway. Like, oh, this fairy shrimp thing, like let's look at that. So I think that'll also trickle down. Daphnia has definitely, I think, become a lot more popular this year. Come on, man, some Daphnia magna. Come on, get some green
Fellas,
water.
Scuds.
I have got to go.
Oh well, shit. We've been on for almost 4 hours. This is more like a Nick stream.
I know this is some
Oh, we
bullshit.
gotta put in the work, bro.
This
This
is some bullshit.
premium fish live stream content right here, man.
Well,
This crap.
I'm just.
Get this.
You know what I'm
No
really surprised.
trolls or nothing in the chat. This is some bull.
This is what I'm really surprised. It's like 2:00 in the morning where you guys are at,
Yeah,
right? Or 1:00.
it's
Yeah.
1:45.
There's 32 people still watching.
Y'all need to go to
That
bed. Bunch of
freaking
slackers.
insane.
They got jobs in the
Yo.
morning.
They're dehydrated. They're dying for the thirsty boys. Let's go. Hey.
Oh my
yo,
god.
can I get a? I need a drink.
Hashtag drink.
I need a drink. Yo, we just hydrated y'all for the whole year, buddy.
Well, I'm
Man,
just
watch
hoping that you guys stuck around because you guys were having a good time and enjoying this. I really do appreciate it. This is probably by far the longest stream that I've done on my channel.
Really?
Yeah,
Man,
I don't think
come on.
it's not uncommon that I do 1 or 2 hours, but 4 hours, that's really,
Ridiculous.
really.
That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
But that's
don't make
just
no
a
damn
warm up
sense.
for Nick. Nick is gonna go on and do 8 hours on his channel now.
Yeah, he's gonna go back on. Everybody
Another
go to In My Tanks. He's got another 4 hours left in him.
At least one. I'm going live after this. I am. I'm energized. I'm ready. Let's go. Hardest working, right here.
Yeah,
the three.
Yeah,
Thirsty
I could
boys.
definitely agree that he's the hardest working
Yeah.
buffoon out there.
He's gonna do some channel reviews on rock climbing guys or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, he's gonna go
Yo.
through the flashing boulders review
I'm trying to
on their
see
technique
I need
or
to
how
do a
much
flow.
how much sweat is flowing off their pecs. That's what he's gonna go right.
Nah, man. I gotta see which Florina thumbnail is the best. That's what I gotta do, man. Which one's got the cheeks hitting just right, dog?
The night guys are hanging out.
Yo.
All right, guys. Well, you two, I really do appreciate hanging out with me, and the rest of you guys putting up with us. Thank you guys.
Big Steve.
I know, coming in with 5 memberships.
All
Oh,
right.
hey.
He gifted
Yo,
5
Big
memberships. There we go.
This that guy.
Must be a
man.
loyal person because I still with you at 6. Wow, 6. That is some serious loyalty.
Yeah.
What do you say?
No, that he must be a loyal person because he sat with us till 6:48 a.m. wherever this
Oh.
person's at. That's
You
Eon.
crazy in your head. You weird.
Oh shit! I got a gifted membership. Let's go, Big Steve.
All right.
Wait, Big Steve gifted a membership to himself. What the hell? Yo,
Did he?
I didn't know that he could even do that.
Normally, it tells me who got them, and I'm not seeing it in the chat.
JP Jeffries got it. Beto, Jesse, Big Steve, and myself.
That's weird. I don't know why I didn't show it. Usually it'll.
You know, I
pop.
have still yet to ever get a gifted membership. There's some that I'm supposed to press to accept, but I've never seen whatever I'm supposed to do.
You go to.
Or maybe I'm just unlucky.
Yeah, well, you got to be on YouTube. You're not going to be able to do it here, but you got to go in there and go to the money icon, and then in there you got to go in there and be able to accept gifts.
Oh, yeah.
I've done that. I thought, and nothing ever says accept gifts. And nothing ever said I don't care. Whatever, it don't matter. I just realized I was like, anyway, yeah, I gotta go.
Well, thank you, Steve, and thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a great end of the year and an awesome beginning to the new year. So, see you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. We'll see each other in another live stream somewhere in the near future.
Boys out, man.
Thirsty boys.
I'll
Thirsty
see you
boys
next
out.
year.
Stay high.
I'll see you next year.
All right, end the stream. Hitting the button.